But then he could not see the cold light burning in his own eyes. This is madness! Well done.
Oh.
It's broken.
Well, it didn't work.
You broke it.
That's weird. That is right. Welcome back to The Nerdy, The Wordy, The Book Club. This is our very highly professional, well-run, and maintained show.
Yes.
Where I, Nerdy Nightly,
and I, Claris Polaris,
are a well-oiled machine.
Great. Great. I love that for us. Apparently now is a good time to insert some ads.
Yeah, 5 seconds into your video. Great. Thanks, YouTube.
God, I hate YouTube. Blue, welcome back to the Nerd Table.
Thank you so much for 7 months.
Thank you, friend.
Blue.
Can you believe 7 months?
Of book club?
Mm-hmm.
No. I honestly, actually, I can, just because of how much reading we've done.
I guess. But I don't know. Still, I'm like,
In terms of how far the saga of Wheel of Time has gone, I can buy that it took us 7 months to get to this point.
Oh, for sure. It does not feel like 7 months to me. That's all.
I just want to say a hearty good morning to everyone in the live chat. And a huge thank you to our mods. I know a couple of our mods couldn't be here today because this is at a different time. So y'all rascals better behave, or when Monkey comes back, she's going to be all up on your backs. But yeah, this is a special Sunday book club because Roger's internet crapped the bed on Friday.
You know what? You know who you are. Anyone on Rogers in Canada basically did not have internet on Friday.
Yeah.
Across
From about 5 a.m. until about like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Almost a full 24 hours, which is wild. But hopefully this new time slot means that a few of you who can't normally make it live are able to. I know some of our people who normally can be here Fridays and can't be here today. I do apologize for that.
Yeah.
It was not our choice. But here we are.
Yeah, before we get into the show today, there's a couple things I did want to bring up. First of all, this podcast is sponsored by Audible. What?
What?
Did you just do my joke?
I did.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, I came up with it myself.
You never do my jokes. That's fun. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. Y-Cross, thank you. Welcome to the Nerd Table.
And welcome to an ad for Audible. Audible is an online service that allows you to pick up the latest in not reading technology. That's right. Do you like the idea of stories but want someone to read them to you like your mom didn't when you were a child because she died in a tragic car accident?
Wow.
You can go to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly.
Is this the origin story for a villain, a superhero or a villain?
No, this is a story that you can read on Audible. Audible has basically every book, but someone has read it for you because you're lazy.
How many audiobooks do you think Bruce Wayne listened to?
Bruce Wayne?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. He's
at
definitely
least a couple.
He's definitely like a murder mystery serial rapist.
No, because he would. He hates murder mysteries because he would always solve them before they get to the end.
Well, comic book Bruce Wayne, but not Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne would be like, I'm so glad they told me who it was at the end because I had no idea.
I had no idea. Did not pick up on it at all. Oh, man. Anyways, Audible. Go get it. Use our code.
Yeah, audibletrial.com.
You nerds.
/nerdynightly. Jokes aside, Audible is fantastic.
Yeah, honestly.
Says a man who I've never listened to an audiobook.
Never?
I've never listened to an audiobook.
Wow, I used to fall asleep to the Harry Potter book tapes.
I have tried listening to audiobooks, but I get lost, and then I have to scroll back and try and find where I stopped paying attention.
That's why I only listen to audiobooks that I've already read the books of.
Interesting.
Yes. Because otherwise I get lost.
Yeah, they don't work for me. But millions and billions, probably a billion people have listened to an audiobook at this point.
Probably.
And it works for them. So go to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly and read books the way I don't.
Crush net. Terrence, welcome to the Nerd Table.
Terrence, thank you so much. Welcome, you dang narg. The other thing I wanted to bring up today is that we are going to be starting a new thing, where if you want to review our podcasts on any of the popular podcast apps, mostly Apple, because I don't actually know where the reviews go on other apps, but I will try and find them. If you go to Apple Podcasts and you review this podcast, we will read your review in a short or a TikTok or something like that. We'll also read them at the end of the podcast. But I promise you, every single review will be turned into a video of us reading your review, no matter what you say. It does not have to be about our podcast. You just have to write a review.
And give it 5 stars.
Whether or not it's relevant, I don't care.
Or honestly, no, give us 5 stars.
4 or 5 stars. Anything
5
below
stars.
4 stars, I will not read. Unless it's particularly well written.
Unless it has, like a thesis,
Yeah.
an opening statement.
There's a number of ways that you could use this power. You could have me record or Clarus record your a message on your phone when people call you.
Your ringtone?
Yeah, ringtone. No, not ringtone. The message, the messaging machine.
Voicemail?
Yes, that's it. We could we'll record that for you as a review on our podcast.
Wow, this is going so well. Good morning, y'all. We're here for the Wheel of Time.
That's right. We start today. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a
Wow, Sundays are chaotic.
We yeah, it took us 6 minutes to get in the podcast today. Y'all, chapter 46. We have now read almost the entirety of Fires of Heaven. We have a few chapters left.
A little bit left.
Oh, that's a
where
chunk.
we're at. Yep.
It's a thick chunk for next week.
This thick boy. Well, part of that, actually, a lot of this is the glossary, so...
The glossary has to get bigger each book.
This is the glossary.
Yeah.
So, it's not nothing.
We are almost done with the book. Clarus, we have been less than happy about it.
Yes, I'm sorry. Monkey, we got you. Thanks for being here.
Monkey's sick. Don't bring them up.
Monkey's sick. Don't talk about them.
Shh.
We're almost done.
How are you feeling about it? No, because we had previously said maybe not our favorite book.
Yes, I like it much better now. This past section was really, really well done.
Yeah.
I still think because the slow first half, it's probably not going to rank as one of my favorite books, but this section was probably one. Not the circus stuff, but the Kyrian siege is probably one of my favorite sections so far of the Wheel of Time series.
Interesting. Okay,
yes.
Yeah. I would agree with that, honestly. I think it doesn't reach the emotional depth that I think that the Emmonsfield fight from the last book reached. So I do think that this is not. I think that this is ranked a little bit below that in terms of sequences, and probably below Ruiodin. But I think in terms of the series so far, I would put the Kyrian siege as right below those two moments.
For me, this was on par with Ruidian. As I have to keep reading. I need I had that hunger. It's I need to keep going because I found it so fascinating.
Josh, thank you so much for that super chat. There's a video out there of Kate reading, live narrating Moiraine's Mornethrin speech from book 1 at JordanCon. It's quite chilling.
That's awesome.
We should maybe do a reaction to
Yeah.
that.
Also, Dusty tweeted out that there's some kind of special announcement at Wheel of Time Con.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Should we have gone?
For the closing ceremonies today.
Y'all, if anyone sees news about Wheel of Time Con during the podcast, please put it in the chat so that we can maybe have some breaking news as we do a podcast about a book that was written 2 decades ago.
Could you imagine? I love that for us.
All right. We're happy with this so far, right? The book?
Yes.
We're doing good right now?
Yes.
Should we dive into the part of the book that we don't like?
Sure. Honestly, here's the thing. People hate on the circus stuff. I don't think it's You know what? There's some good stuff in there, but there's some not great stuff in there, guys. I'm sorry. We're going back to chapter, 30? I have it written down.
Yeah. 34.
34.
I think, right?
34. There we go. Guys, I have minimal notes.
You have minimal notes?
I always have minimal notes. I just write down the important things that I care about.
I don't have any notes, so we might be screwed.
Oh well. All right. So, chapter 34. I'm kidding. I know. Nynaeve and Luca sitting in a tree. Nynaeve boxing his ears. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
This is so silly to me because Elaine is like, stop leading Luca on. And she's like, what do you mean leading him on? And she's like, you're not being as mean to him as you could be. And I'm like, as mean? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Sure.
There are levels of being mean, right? When someone is interested in you, there is the like pushing them away to bring them closer, and then there's pushing them away to push them away. And knowing the difference between those two things can be very important.
I do not understand the difference between those two things. I've never been mean to someone to bring them closer. That seems fucked up.
Yeah, but you've always been in like long relationships. You've never been on the dating scene. You know what I mean? You've never been out on the prowl trying to suss out whether the man or woman looking at you is a good look or a leer look. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you gotta play this game, and Elaine knows what the game is, and Nynaeve is unaware of the game.
I guess I'm naive in this situation. I'm like,
You're
what do you
naive
mean?
in this situation.
Oh my god. Got him. I need to use this more often.
So we get a lot of conversation about who cooks and how well at the beginning of this.
Yes.
Are you surprised that Elaine is like MasterChef?
Honestly, kind of. Because she's had all her meals like cooked for her, I'm sure, most of her life. So I'm sure she has a refined palate, but I didn't realize she knew like what went together how and how to make it. Like I
don't know. I feel like when you're rich like that, you can just be like, I want to learn that, and someone will have to come teach you. You know what I mean?
Sure. Oh yeah, for sure. I just didn't realize Elaine had any interest in cooking.
It's the first time it's been brought up, but now I want Elaine to cook for me.
Yes.
Because you know, when I cook, it's mostly the same things. I cook like 3 healthy dishes.
Yeah. We have like our go-to couple of meals. That honestly pretty great. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Are you surprised that Nynaeve can't cook?
No.
It kind of surprised me.
Really?
Yeah. There's an element of there's a lot of things Nynaeve is bad at, but she lives by herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like there's certain things that because you're never gonna get married and you're gonna be the wisdom and whatnot, there are just things that I feel like when like I didn't learn how to cook until I lived by myself, and then I was like, oh, I do want the food that I eat to taste good, and I can't afford to eat out very often, so I'm gonna put in a little bit of effort here. You know what I mean? I find the people who can't cook are usually people who never lived by themselves or who had a lot of money and always eat out.
I guess.
But like Nynaeve. Is Nynaeve maybe she just doesn't have much of a palate and can't tell that her food tastes bad?
Maybe. I always kind of assumed that because Nynaeve is like the wisdom, that whenever she like heals somebody, they show up with like a pot pie or, you know, like a casserole or whatever it is that
she just has leftovers for years.
Yeah.
I was about to say in her fridge, but I don't think they have refrigerators.
No, I don't think they do. But that was just, that was what I kind of imagined. I felt like she barely did any cooking for herself because she was probably busy a lot of the time. I don't know. I guess it depends how often people get
I'm busy
sick.
All the time too. I still need to cook my food. I can't just eat raw food all the time.
Yes.
Although I guess like how often, I guess it depends on like how often would they even eat cooked food, right?
Because she always complains about how much meat men eat, right? So she might just eat raw fruits and veggies all the time. Just like nuts and berries.
I like Boley's point here. Nynaeve's version of cooking is boiled for safety.
Boil and mash them, stick them in a stew. Joe Cheeto says, can we have a Nerdy and Klaus cooking stream? And I'm just going to do a shout out to our past videos. I'm shouting us out. There are some incredible baking videos on our channel from like 2 years ago. You should definitely go take a look at those.
If you, especially the one where we bake our own wedding cake. That video I think is especially good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we baked our wedding cake for YouTube.
We sure did.
And if you want to watch that or watch our wedding also
on YouTube. And Disney makes money off of it.
And Disney, it is monetized for Disney because we played some of their music. But yeah, no, I found it interesting that the conversation of like Elaine being this master chef. And Elaine would be the girl who like gets home every day and turns on Netflix and watches cooking shows. You know what I mean? She'd be like, you guys, you have to watch The Iron Table. It is the newest cooking show. And Nynaeve, this is actually a good question. What do you think Nynaeve watches on Netflix?
Oh man. I think Nynaeve is that like true crime podcaster. Like I think
every
that,
character
like,
we've brought up today, you've been like they listen to true crime.
No.
Batman, true crime. Nynaeve,
No,
true crime.
Batman, we talked about and I rescind. But, like, Nynaeve is definitely one of those people who's, like, cooking up her herbs and is, like, trying to figure out what they're talking about at the same time. It's either that or she watches, like a random, not like a big news channel, but like a small town like cable news channel that like no one's ever heard of.
I like this idea that she watches House. I don't think she would watch House though because she doesn't respect male doctors.
True. You know what? True. She'd be like, this House guy, what an idiot.
This Cuddy is the only character on the show with anything.
Honestly, Cuddy is the sensible one until she dates House, and then it's weird. I'm like, come on.
I also like the idea that Nynaeve watches Gordon Ramsay, but thinks that he's too nice to everyone.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right. So
is today's like a section gonna be like what Netflix show does this character watch? Because I'm kind of into that.
We could throw it up. So Nynaeve goes to meet Birgitte.
Nynaeve watches fashion shows and feels guilty about it.
True. I would never wear that except for Lan.
Exactly.
Nynaeve goes to bed after cooking a terrible meal for everybody, and she goes to sleep. And she's like, "All right, Birgitte, it's time to hang out."
Yes.
And I feel like we've been stalling because things get rough very fast.
This was like, we didn't get a warm-up chapter for this section.
No.
You like screamed from downstairs while I was streaming.
I did.
You literally screamed, and I was like, "Oh, he got there."
Yeah.
He got to the part.
I did scream. Nynaeve goes, and Birgitte is like, "Yo, I found her. Mogideon.
Yeah.
Mogideon.
Yeah.
Moggy baby."
And so they go spy on her?
Yeah.
They, like, creep up from above, and they're like, "Oh, what are they doing down there?" Close enough to, like, be able to hear them. And I was like, you know you're gonna get caught, right?
Well, and I got confused by the whole setting because they were in, like, a void of blackness.
Yeah.
And I thought Tel'aran'rhiod was, like, the real world. I just didn't understand, like, I didn't understand what was going on because we've never seen Tel'aran'rhiod exist like this. It felt almost more like they were in the space between gateways that Rand walked through at the end of the last book to get to Ruidian. Here's
the thing. If Tel'aran'rhiod is, like, the world but kind of, but different, they could be anywhere in the entire globe, continent, universe. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
They could be in space.
They made the way that they were like above them chilling, could hear them, but they couldn't be heard. I just was like,
it feels like they were like on the moon. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it felt like that, but also it felt like Birgitte and Nynaeve were like somehow not there. They were like scrying within Tel'aran'rhiod, which we've just never seen anyone able to do.
Yeah.
And so I think I was a little bit confused in terms of like the rules of Tel'aran'rhiod don't exist.
No, it's literally whatever you make it.
Yeah, and
right?
and like, so that becomes in scenes like this, it becomes a like sure.
Wow, okay, sure.
Like
yeah.
no matter what happens, you just kind of have to shrug your shoulders and go with it because it is just whatever it wants to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they check it out and Robert Jordan loves to describe furniture. Just loves it. And so we get
he was a carpenter in another life.
Robert Jordan was actually Jesus in another life. That is confirmed.
And does that mean this is the Bible? No, Jesus didn't write the Bible.
Jesus did not write the Bible.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. He'd been dead for many decades by the time it was written.
Very long
time. So they're looking at these chairs, and there are some Forsaken there, but Nynaeve is really, she's just like, that's interesting. Those chairs have bodies, and that chair is very sturdy and tall. And I was like, Robert Jordan.
That chair is having sex with itself.
Robert Jordan was like, I need you to know the personalities of the Forsaken, and therefore they all brought chairs that describe them.
Well, they didn't bring them; they just imagined them into existence because they needed somewhere to sit.
That's fair too. Wait, but can you wait? But
you didn't hire movers.
Can't. No, but you can't bring furniture in, right?
What do you mean?
Isn't the furniture in Tel'aran'rhiod what's already there?
No, you can literally imagine. It's like the dresses. You can imagine anything you want. Tel'aran'rhiod is infinitely like. all the possibilities. It's limited by your imagination.
But then they interact with real world things in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yes.
That's where it gets confusing for me.
But like, if we were in Tel'aran'rhiod, that chair might like be there while it's there, and then I could just think of like the Game of Thrones chair, and it would turn into that.
That's very confusing.
That is what it is.
I thought everything in Tel'aran'rhiod, like clothes and like things on you, could be manipulated, but the like actual world was real. I don't know.
Well, no, Egwene literally like pops up random men monster claw thingies.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
That is true.
You can do. It seems like you can do whatever you want with it. So yeah.
I liked the idea that those chairs were just there. I was excited by that idea, but you're right.
Honestly, yeah, let's go with that. They were just there.
I think the thing about Tel'aran'rhiod that I find a little bit confusing sometimes is that it is a mix of real world and whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And so it is like reading Quicksand, where
there's no structure to it.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, and so the value of what happens there to me can be very hard to decipher.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why the Forsaken don't just kill people in Tel'aran'rhiod all the time if it kills you in real life. But there's so much... Like, Moghedien seems so much more powerful there than she is in real life. So why didn't she just kill Nynaeve? You know what I mean? Like, it just creates this, like, weird system of, like...
What do you mean? Why didn't she just kill Nynaeve?
Well, she, like, doesn't kill her, right?
Yeah, because she wants to enslave her for eternity.
Yeah, but can she do that in Tel'aran'rhiod?
Why not? She says compulsions are more powerful in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. Apparently... But yet,
that's what they say.
It doesn't work.
What do you mean?
Well, she doesn't compel Nynaeve.
Because she
doesn't
shot.
compel Birgitte. Yep, no, but if they work, just compel her first. Why spend like and this is where Moghedien just monologues for like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's the classic villain. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to you because I want you to like be upset about it. Like that is such a classic villain trope. I
know, but if you can like
Moghedien's like, I'm gonna make you suffer for eternity.
But then why doesn't she bind up Birgitte too? Like, it was just one of those moments where I was like, okay.
I mean,
it felt very unnecessary for this to go the way that it went.
She definitely got cocky with Birgitte. She's like, Birgitte's down and out of the way. It's fine.
Well, and I think that what makes it more confusing for me is that in the next scene, black liquid oozes over Birgitte and then she's real. And I was like, wait, what?
Well, because I'm pretty sure Moghedien literally throws her out of Tel'aran'rhiod, like pulls her out, and like I wonder, it feels like.
But she doesn't intentionally throw her out.
How do you know?
She gets shot, and then in the chaos of what happens afterwards, she gets put out.
The Moghedien literally like tries to kill her by thrusting her out of Tel'aran'rhiod,
which makes her real.
Yeah,
which gives her a body?
So here's the thing. So Birgitte is part of the pattern, right? An infinite part of the pattern that gets churned out by the wheel whenever she's
But specifically born, because it matters that she's born.
Well, because if you just materialize into existence, she lives a different life every time, right? Her lived experience is different.
Yeah.
She learns new things every time.
Yeah.
And so she kind of becomes, I think, more powerful each time she's turned out, in a sense, in very, like, small ways, right? She has different perspectives. And so being, like, yanked out of that pattern of where she's supposed to be, like, I literally think, like, Moghedien yanked her from the pattern. Like, pulled her threads and, like, thrust her into the real world when she was not supposed to be, and that was killing her.
Sure.
That's what I imagined.
Okay. So does that imply that through the one power, people can influence the pattern itself?
Well, I'm sure people as powerful as the Forsaken, yeah. And obviously...
But the Forsaken aren't super powerful in their time. Everyone was as powerful as them. They come from a time where people were more powerful because they knew more about the one power. But the Forsaken are not particularly powerful, right?
Yeah, they are.
No, they are not more powerful than the Aes Sedai of their age, right? That's kind of what we've set up, is that Lews Therin was as powerful as and more powerful than most of the Forsaken, right? So does that mean that there are a number of a large number of Aes Sedai in the Age of Legends who could literally just rip the pattern apart?
No, the reason that they're chosen, there's a reason they're chosen. They're chosen because they're super powerful and ambitious and willing to do whatever they want. Like,
except for Moghedien, who is not particularly powerful in the one power, but is very powerful in the dream world, which is where she is powerful enough to attack the pattern, which you can attack in the dream world.
I think she's powerful in both, but in the dream world, she's more powerful. It's like some of the wise ones can dream walk, but they can't channel, right? Like those, like their power manifests differently. It's like a very individual person thing, right? Like she's still super powerful. I've never read it and been under the impression that like the Forsaken are not like above average in like power level.
Oh no, I'm just saying they're not so much more powerful that they're the only people in the Age of Legends who could have influenced the wheel then, right? You're saying, and I understand everyone's talking about Balefire, and I understand that like there is a way to do that with the one power in the real world, but it just seems very strange to me that you would have a number of people, probably north of 20 humans alive at the same time, who can physically destroy the functional like underpinning of the universe.
Yeah.
And that anyone survives.
But then you know you don't do that because bad things generally tend to happen if you mess with it. You know what I mean?
But what bad things?
Well,
Brigitte has a body now? Like, is that like the worst?
Well, Brigitte almost died, right? She's a hero that's been turned out by the wheel over and over and over again. And she very nearly died, like, and probably died permanently.
Yeah. Does that matter, though?
I mean, here's the thing.
Like, at the end of the day, like, this...
The Chosen are there to, like, burn the world and, like, rule the ashes, right? I don't think that they care if the pattern is whole or if it has, like, drastic consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, like, it's... I honestly think that Brigitte being yanked into existence before she's supposed to be is going to be very dangerous. There's going to be issues with it, for sure. Can
I be honest? I think that if we had seen any of Egwene learning from the Wise Ones about Tel'aran'rhiod, I wouldn't have the same problems that I have.
Agree. I want to learn about it. The one thing that I have been missing in the series so far is the how.
Yeah.
It's you're just kind of like, this is what works and how and what happens, but we're not going to explain to you the intricacies of it.
Yeah, and I think that I get a little bit the further we get into these books.
Guys, don't call me out like that.
The further we get into these books, the more frustrated I get by the ways in which Robert Jordan skips over any explanations.
Yeah,
and the characters who are learning always learn off screen.
Yes.
And so we just end up at this point where like I like the concept of Tel'aran'rhiod. I would really love just any sort of scenes explaining anything about it.
I would take an essay. You know what I mean? If Robert Jordan had written an essay that he had published outside of the books, I would gobble that shit up. Like, that is, I'm so interested to know how this works.
I just get frustrated that Robert Jordan only explains things in what you can't do. You know what I mean? Like, Robert Jordan, like, Egwene is like, you can't do this. Okay, well, what can you do? Don't worry about that. Just know that you can't do this. All right. Yeah. It's just, we've been hearing about Tel'aran'rhiod for 3 books now.
Oh, yeah.
And like, the functional, like, the way that it works to me is, I haven't figured it. This is what it feels like. From like, as a writer, it feels like Robert Jordan's like, I haven't really figured it out yet, so I'm just going to do anything with it, and maybe I'll solidify it later.
So, I agree with you. I want to preface by saying that I agree with you. I would like to know how it works, but I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second, where it does seem like a lot of what happens is intrinsical and the characters do not understand how it works because so much information was lost in the breaking. They just have kind of figured it out and they're like, well, this is how it is. I don't know why. I don't know how, because we don't have that information anymore.
But Egwene is learning something.
She's learning something,
like,
yes.
The Wise Ones have some understanding of what they're doing. They are capable of what they are doing, right? So they are learning something. We are just not privy to any of it. We haven't been privy to anything in the White Tower. We haven't been privy to any of Jason, Natil, and Rand's channeling conversations.
Which I would love.
We haven't been privy. So, like, characters
what
are
I'm
learning
saying.
things. We as the audience are just left completely outside of that side of the universe. And so the magic system to me, the more the characters
bonkers.
know how to do more things
Yeah.
and the audience is completely left out of any of it, the more scenes like when, because we'll get to it in the Kyrian siege.
Yeah.
The more in those scenes I go, I'm
If you
sure.
say so.
I guess Rand can channel for hours now. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I
Yeah.
don't know how hard this is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the danger of this is.
Well, Rand doesn't either.
And they just keep being like, if I pull any more power, and I'm like, I don't know how much you've pulled. Like, I have no concept of what's happening inside of you other than what you tell me later or...
Yep.
And so I would like for the magic system to be something that I can follow a little bit more, and especially the dream world where I'm like, I guess there's also planes outside of planes of existence. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got some super chats here. Let's
It's
mention
over
them.
on this side. As well.
AMV fan 15. I know this is a little off topic, but the Sanchin have Texas accents according to Robert
that
Jordan.
drawl. Yeah. That's why they have the
Well, now you see there, Rand. What you got to understand here is you're the Dragon Reborn. You're the Kara Karn. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Baka Karn, thank you so much for that super chat. Robert Jordan doesn't do training scenes. The mechanics make sense and are consistent throughout the series. We were given info bit by bit, book by book, read and find out. I think I've heard that they're consistent after book one. I've heard that some of the stuff from book one never comes back, but...
Right, yes. That he was still kind of figuring it out.
Glenn Peterson, thank you for that super chat as well.
you.
When Robert Jordan was questioned about some of his metaphysics, he basically told the asker, you need a girlfriend.
Yes.
Cool. So basically, we're never going to know.
I think we will learn more as we go on, which is, like I said, I agree with you. I really wish that we had that. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Nemsi says, I think you just have to consider that perhaps the characters don't know either. But some of the characters know things because these things are happening.
Because they're being taught, right?
Like, we know that these characters are being
knows.
trained.
Yeah, like I want to know what Asmodien knows. I want... Like, I want to know so bad.
Well, and that's my problem with Asmodien, right? Is that we when you got him at the end of the last book and he was going to be Rand's teacher, I was so excited.
Yeah.
Like, I was so excited. And I honestly find him to be impossibly boring. Because I don't give a shit about any scene he's in because Robert Jordan is never going to let him say anything interesting. Yeah. I'm not joking. I think Jason Attil is utterly pointless in this book. He literally is just always there. He doesn't help. We don't get to see what is interesting about him. It is all off screen. And so all we know is that Rand tells us on screen, and I know that I'm using on screen, off screen. I know it's a book, on page, whatever. But Rand tells us that he's important and that things are happening with him, but we get literally none of it. And so anytime they're like, and Jason's there, and I'm like, cool, great, I don't care. He's never going to say anything of value. And I hope maybe he does eventually, but like right now, we are 46 chapters into this book, and I don't think there's a single scene with Jason Attil that I care about at all.
I actually find him interesting.
But he doesn't do anything. Interesting in what sense?
It's not his actions, but it's his reactions to other characters. Aldan, thank you for that super
Aldan, thank you for that.
chat.
You get Dream World mechanics later as part of one of the main character arcs, not Egwene's, and there's reasons for that.
Egwene's.
If you pay attention, which I have no doubt you will. We'll get there, yeah.
Yeah, oh, totally, we'll get there. It's, for me, like, I'm not like, wow, he's so infinitely fascinating, but his reactions to when Luce comes out of Rand or when Matt says things that, like, he shouldn't know, like, his reactions to things I find fascinating because he knows, I think, more than he's letting on, and I just hope that we become privy to that.
Yeah, I really like Sonic Sean 34's comment here. The issue is the story has a main group whose function is teaching the one power and all about who people need and a group of people who need training.
Yeah,
I agree with the point they're making.
Yeah,
you've set up that there's a school. You've set up that there are people whose jobs in this universe are to train people.
Yes.
Asmodien's
and that if people don't get trained, they die.
Yeah. Asmodien's job is to train people. Yes. So, like, we are constantly introduced to mentor characters, and then we don't get to watch them be mentors.
Yeah.
Right? Lan is teaching Rand how to use a sword, but we don't see any of it. We don't get those scenes.
We see more of that than we do any of the one power stuff.
We used to. We haven't in multiple books, though. It's now always like, Rand was there this morning.
But that's because Lan is like, nah, you're good now. He literally told you, he's like, nah, you're a blade master. Congrats.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
So we're kind of there.
So we need to get back to the book because we are not out of the first chapter
Yes,
of the day.
Correct.
Yet. So the question I have for you is you brought up when you read this that I haven't been recording this whole time. I'll have to download the VOD.
For the audio.
Yeah. You brought up that Nynaeve learns a lesson here, and you're kind of like, why did you teach her this lesson twice?
Yes. So when I first read this section, I was pissed off because this event literally changes Nynaeve permanently for good. Probably for good. We're getting there, but I think for good. And I said to you, I was like, this makes the stuff with Egwene and Tel'aran'rhiod where Egwene abused her completely and utterly pointless.
Yes.
It makes that so much less necessary. Honestly, it was too far before. But this completely undermines it. You don't need both. And I was kind of bothered and whatever. I kept reading and I got over it. But when I read it, I was like, I don't understand why Robert Jordan felt the need to include both things.
Yeah.
I think that this moment is so pivotal for Nynaeve in so many ways that you didn't need the weird Egwene abuse scene from several chapters back. And that's my hot take. I don't think that's going to be too hot of a take. But
well, and I think that what's weird about it is that it makes Egwene right in a way that I don't think she should be. In that, like, Nynaeve should have listened to Egwene in those moments. And, maybe that is the lesson to learn here, but Egwene's not going to learn it. And I think that's what's frustrating, is the lesson here is that Egwene's tactic was so gross and aggressive that it didn't work. Yeah. And so Nynaeve ended up in the situation. If Egwene had taught Nynaeve that same lesson, but in a way that actually, like, connected, then maybe Nynaeve wouldn't have ended up here. But Egwene is never going to know any of that.
Well, and here's the thing, is I hope that moment is pivotal for Egwene's character to become better, to maybe be like, hey, shouldn't have done that, learning from this, moving on, maybe even an apology, but I doubt that that's going to happen. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting to see Nynaeve end up in basically the same situation twice.
Yeah. So I hope that it pays off for Egwene's character, but I'm not holding my breath. It doesn't seem that that's what it's meant for, so we'll see.
So Birgitte and
Birgitte gets yanked out of the dream world, and
that's the end of that.
Right.
Yeah. We or actually no, not even. It actually leaves with Nynaeve thinking that she killed Birgitte.
Yes.
Very sad.
I literally wrote down Moghedien killed Birgitte ?
No, she did not.
No, spoiler alert, she did not.
So then we cut over to Liandrin, who's in Amadithia, which I think is like I want to say that Amadithia is like what's the place in Spain? Where they have the oh my god. There's a place in Spain where they have the lift.
I don't.
Oh, chat, come on. Someone's got to help me here.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's not Castile. But there's a place where, like, they say it, but they say España instead of Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think that Amadithia is pronounced like that. You know what I mean? Barcelona.
So it's not Amadisia?
No, it's not Amadithia. It's Amadithia.
All right, sure.
We'll
go with that.
Yeah. I like it.
I
like that accent. It's very sexy. If you've never heard someone speak in that accent,
good to know.
Yeah. That'll get Nynaeve before braid.
The fellowship grows by one. You're not wrong.
The fellowship does grow by one. So Moghedien is brought into the room.
And she's hurt.
She's
bad.
Yeah, because what happens in the dream world happens in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And is it
It's not
Ibiza?
Vegas.
Oh, I think it might be Castilian Spanish. Yeah. She's like Chesmol, which is a woman's name in this book series. Chesmol.
Yeah.
Poor Chesmol.
Is it Chesmol, do you think, or is it Kesmol?
Oh, Kesmol.
What
about Kesmal?
Kesmal?
Kesmal is a little sexier.
That's better than Chesmol.
Yeah, when I read it, I was like,
sneeze.
Chesmal?
I'm like, bless you.
Let's call her Kesmal.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll ever see this person again. She's healing her, and Moghedien just shields Liandrin and sets her up to be a house servant forever.
Yeah, well, because Liandrin's like, now's my chance, and Mogatine is like, you fool, and basically cuts her off, doesn't still her, but literally shields her and ties it off so intricately that she's like, you will never find someone to break this, but you will survive, hoping that you can, and that's like the most evil thing ever.
But this is another one of those moments, and I hate to be the guy who complains about a moment like this, because I actually think it was really cool.
It was very cool.
It was very cool, but I'm like, if Moghedien is this powerful against Liandrin, who knows what she's doing...
Liandrin isn't super powerful, though. Like, we've established... she's evil, and she's decently powerful, but
shielding does not seem to be about power. It seems to solely be about speed.
Okay.
So if and this is where I get a little bit confused, is what...
Moghedien is thousands of years old. How many times has she tied knots?
Nynaeve beat the crap out of her.
Yeah, Nynaeve is super powerful, and that's the problem.
But is the power about power, or is it about speed? And this is where I get confused, and this is why I need some explanation on the power, right?
It's all of the above.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. If you and I lock eyes at the same moment...
Yeah.
And our speed is the same. Our reaction time is the same, but you're slightly more powerful than me. You might be able to bat aside my power. If I see you a half of a second before you see me, and I get there first, I might have the upper hand. Nynaeve is super incredibly powerful, and Moghedien didn't realize that the moment that they met, right? Because Nynaeve is only powerful when she's pissed. Right. And that's good. I mean, that's going to be a problem for her, I think. I hope she kind of gets past that. But
Bakakran says you can flex and bust out. I like that.
You can flex.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought this moment was really cool, and I didn't like it at the same time.
Okay.
I think Liandrin is a super fascinating villain.
Yeah.
And
I think she's become way more fascinating now.
Why? She's stuck in that house. She can't leave.
Yes, and now she has had the one power all her life and been one of the only humans in Randland who knows what compulsions are. Compulsions seem like a thing that the Forsaken know because it was from the Age of Legends, right? And she has a spark that she's like, I have this thing that nobody else has. And now she doesn't have that anymore. And I want to know what she does about it. Where she goes from there.
Okay, but if she can't leave the house... Right?
Yeah.
Why would the story ever go back to her?
Oh, she's not done. She's not done.
But what? I don't care what happens in that house. You know what I mean?
Really?
Unless Liandrin gets out, right? But how she yeah, I don't know. I just read it and I was like, okay, so Liandrin's off the table.
I don't think she is.
She can't shield and she can't channel and she can't leave the house. What's she gonna send letters to Raven and get him to come?
No. But I think that Liandrin, in a book, or maybe two, somebody that we know is going to find her. And I think Liandrin might be, saved by one of our heroes.
That would be interesting.
Right?
That would admittedly be interesting.
Right. She's broken right now.
I guess I just don't care until that point.
Sure,
I don't need any Liandrin chapters
off the table for now.
Where she's complaining about scrubbing dishes.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're getting that. I think our heroes are gonna run into her and she's gonna be utterly unrecognizable.
Yeah, I just liked her as a villain, and I don't think that she can be a villain again. You know what I mean? This is the beginning of a redemption arc, if it's anything. Because how do you bring her? How does she unless Raven undoes it, I guess, or Grendel, or one of the
maybe someone who wants to work against Moghedien and use Liandrin against her, possibly. But
yeah, I don't know. I really like Liandrin, and so for me, this was okay.
That's the end of her for now.
Yeah, and I didn't love that. I think that I thought Moghedien and Liandrin hunting down Nynaeve together but not trusting each other was going to be really interesting. And this was not my favorite way for that storyline to go, because I wanted more of Moghedien and Liandrin's interactions. And this was just such an extreme and quick cutoff. Here's what it is. I really liked their scene before.
Yeah.
Like the scene between Liandrin and Moghedien the first time
Where she
was
like
really
beats
interesting.
her down.
Yeah.
And teaches her a lesson.
And so I wanted to see their relationship as they had to work together to fight Nynaeve.
Yeah.
As they were like this combative force together.
Mm-hmm.
But we got nothing in between. We just got beat down once, beat down again, nothing else, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that was a payoff that I didn't want from this storyline.
Yeah. I thought that this part served to really emphasize how evil Moghedien is.
It does a good job of that.
You know, it is a terrible thing to do. Like, it is so incredibly cruel.
Yeah.
So, you know, I agree. Like, more of them together could have been interesting, but I think that we're past that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're 45 minutes in, and we're on the first chapter.
No, we're on the second chapter. We're on chapter 35, Ripped Away.
Great. We're on the second chapter.
Elaine is watching Nynaeve sleep because that's what these women do to each other all the time. Have you ever really thought about how weird it is that these two just stare at each other sleeping like every night?
I don't know if I could fall asleep. It is honestly like a true testament to their power.
You fall asleep while I like watch you.
Not like watching me. You're rolled over on the other side. You know what I mean?
But sometimes I'm just looking at you.
Not really. Your eyes are generally closed.
You're out. You don't know what you don't know what I do after you sleep.
Are you pulling an Edward Cullen?
How many times have you woken up and I'm not there? At like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I have sleep issues.
I'm just saying, you don't sit there and stare at me.
Sometimes I do.
All right.
So the world goes a little crazy. Nynaeve freaks out, and Birgitte is just fully nude in the middle of the circus.
Yeah, the Tom and Jewelyn find her, bring her in, and like, we found a woman outside.
Yeah.
She kind of looks familiar, but we're not gonna say it. They're like, this is very suspicious. And I was so glad she wasn't dead.
Here's my thing about this though.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, is this Birgitte because she has blonde hair and a braid? And I'm like,
they also found a silver arrow beside her, remember?
Yeah, sure, but like,
who else has silver arrows?
it's not like there are pictures. It would be weird if like Mahatma Gandhi showed up and you'd be like, oh, I've seen millions of photos of this man. I know what he looks like. They have read the description of like, this woman has blonde hair and they're in a circus and they're like, Birgitte. It's gotta be that woman that I heard a story about who died thousands of years ago.
I think it might be the silver arrow.
But like, you can paint an arrow silver. They do it in this.
Yeah, just gonna give that a scratch.
But like,
silver.
there's no photos of her.
I don't know.
They're just like blonde hair and a braid. Birgitte, we've cracked the code.
Maybe there are paintings. You don't know. It's cosplay Birgitte. I mean, she literally appeared out of nowhere.
She did appear by magic. That is true. That does a lot. But
also Elaine is learning kind of a little bit. She can heal a black eye.
Oh yeah. And then Nynaeve was like, you couldn't even heal a black eye. And Elaine's like, I fucking did.
All right, I'm not gonna
look in a mirror, girl.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Tom knows literally every single story that exists about Birgitte. It's not too far-fetched.
I know, but her description is that she has blonde hair and a braid. I'm just saying that...
What about her bosom, though? What about her neckline? Robert Jordan, you're slacking. I need to know.
It's Robert Jordan. She's got big mommy milkers. I promise you, Birgitte has the mommiest of mommy milkers.
You know what? You're right.
Except, well, no, actually, you know what? Birgitte is the one Robert Jordan character who has small titties. Because she's an archer.
Yeah. They do get in the way.
Yeah. There is a maximum bust size for effective archery.
Yeah, I feel like you would have to learn a different method.
There is. I need to write that one down. Brett Babineau, thank you for that super chat.
You have to do it like this, like
much love from Red Deer. What's up, Red Deer?
Hey, Brett, thank you for that super duper chat. I love Red Deer. It's
I tried to date a girl from Red Deer one time.
How'd that go?
Terrible. We lived a 90-minute drive apart. You know what I mean? Like, it was just awful.
Yeah, you know what? That is rough.
It was too far.
That is rough.
Maximum bust. There's a maximum bust size for effective archery.
No, you got it. She shoots horizontally.
Birgitte cut off one boob. It's the Amazonian way. It's the Amazonian way, babe.
If you say so.
No, it's a real thing.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Jacquino says we have boob guards for that. I still think that the angle would be thrown off.
Depends on how big they are.
If your boobs were big enough, Why are we talking about this? So Birgitte shows up in the circus naked. And the boys are like, oh, it's got to be that Birgitte.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? Is it not kind of weird for you to be like, oh, it's a blonde girl? It must be the hero of legend.
There is a literal silver arrow.
But Birgitte has been dead for thousands of years. It would be like like brown man showing up with a nice beard, coiffed hair, and you being like, oh yeah, it's Jesus. You know what I mean? Like,
if he
it is
turned wine into water,
it is the equivalent of a attractive Muslim man appearing naked in front of you and going, "Oh, that must be Jesus," right?
If he appeared out of
Jewish,
nowhere,
but you know what I mean, like if Middle Eastern looking.
If he appeared out of nowhere, I'd buy it. If he popped down from the middle from nowhere, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a worshiper now. I'm religious.
Perry Wolf says Tom and Julian didn't find her. She literally popped into existence right in front of them.
Yeah.
Not much of a stretch for them for her description to assume she might be Birgitte.
Thank you, Perry Wolf, and thank you for that super chat. And the literal silver arrow. Like, where are you going to find that? Anyways,
Yeah.
Elaine regrets trying to sleep with Tom. Very important. Thank you for at least including that.
We have a couple of moments in this already that I know are going to be like the chat arguing with Nerdy and the Discord moments.
Oh yeah, is Discord
I'm gonna hear about
right now?
I'm gonna hear about Birgitte forever.
You are gonna hear, yeah. Guys, if you're not in our Discord, we can fix that for you. So Nynaeve tries to heal Birgitte and it doesn't work. What?
Okay, but like if you're out for a walk and an old dude in a red suit and white beard popped out of nowhere, you'd be like, Santa!
Exactly! Especially if he had a flying reindeer!
Oh my god, okay.
I'm just saying.
So, Birgitte is
my
dying.
God.
She's not well. She's ill. She's sick. She's falling into death.
She's the illest. I didn't think it would be that
She got that drip.
God.
So she's dying, and Nynaeve is like, I can heal her. You can't do anything, Elaine. And Elaine is like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah, wow, all right.
I literally
fine.
healed your bruise.
Chill out.
And Nynaeve is like furiously doing something. I don't know. Well,
It's only funny if you've seen Wicked.
is there like is healing like not specific? Do you just like do like heal?
No, I'm sure it is very intricate. We just have not been privy to any of Nynaeve's teachings.
Well, but Nynaeve doesn't know what she's healing. So how could it be intricate?
Well, I
like
think
you're like all you're doing in this case is generally going, don't die.
I think it's like exploratory surgery. That's literally what I imagine it. I imagine it like you kind of have like tendrils that like go into the body and figure out what's wrong.
What is this, a hentai?
No, like magic.
What fucking tentacle porn are you describing right now?
This is not what I mean.
You just said you have a bunch of tendrils
Yes.
that go into the
Not
body
tentacles.
and figure
It's
out.
like magic senses. That like they're not attached to you.
I'm
but
pretty
you
sure
feel it.
Magic
Like,
Senses is the name of a tentacle porno.
Magic senses.
Jesus Christ.
Magic. No, it's like.
I think it's more like D&D healing, where you just like put your hands on them and they're
And
healed
their
for
hit
5 points. Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely what it is. I don't like. Oh my god. No, I think that Nynaeve is.
Tendrils go into their body.
Yes!
Is the most disgusting
No,
sentence you've ever said out loud.
Because you're making it weird. It's not weird. It's not weird. It's like a sixth sense. All right? The sixth sense is the one power, and the one power, like, susses you out.
No, the Sixth Sense is the movie where Bruce Willis has been dead the whole time. Spoilers.
Wow.
So Elaine is like, wait, but like I can do this. And then he was like, what are you talking about? And Elaine is like, so this one time?
So this one time.
We've never talked about this before, but in fact, it was more than one time. A couple of times when we were in the tower, I know I've never brought this up before. I learned how to bond warders.
Yeah.
And I know how to do that.
I got that big brain. Elaine's got that big brain.
I just love, like, this is one of those times where this is not my, you know how I always say I love Robert Jordan's use of convenience, where he explains why things are convenient?
Yes, because
how people end up together. This is the opposite of that. This is a bad use of convenience. When you have a character go, oh no, I learned this skill a year ago.
Yeah.
And I just have never brought it up until now because it wasn't relevant. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, this one seemed very convenient.
Yeah. I was like, you even heard me downstairs. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Elaine apparently watched the warding process a couple times and was like, yeah, I can do that.
I can do that. Which is why Elaine should have been the one to figure out the collars.
That's what I said in book 2.
Well, no, and then we said it when she's figuring out the Adam. Like,
Yeah.
Elaine, yes, could have been more useful in book 2, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. We're past that.
So yeah, Elaine bonds Birgitte as a warder because, yeah.
Because why not? Female warder. Honestly, that's really cool. I just wish that Robert Jordan had set it up like at least one book before. Just at least something. Because I love the idea of this so much. Like, I am so excited by this.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the consequences that it's going to have for Elaine. Which, what are they going to be? Because she's also the queen of, daughter heir. You know what I mean? And also one of the most powerful Aes Sedai so far. Like, they can't afford to really punish her for it, but also it's Birgitte, literally one of the heroes of legend, as her warder. But I love that Elaine's like, so now I have to be a green because Rand is going to be my warder no matter what. If I have to share him, I'm going to have something that only I get.
The one thing I would change about this.
Okay.
Because I actually really like the storyline. I think it's awesome. I like Elaine having Birgitte as a warder, especially if she does become Queen of Andor. My only thing is I don't like that the bonding process can happen non-consensually.
Fair.
I find the ability to bond someone without their consent very strange because it wouldn't be a good bond.
Yes.
Like, she's lucky that it's Birgitte, but like you're putting a lot of faith in someone,
which is
through force.
Yes, which is why I think Arisa, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that.
I have no idea what that currency is.
Me neither, but we really
if anyone knows what DKK currency is, I would love to know.
So here's the thing. I think that is actually going to be important later on, and I think it is why you cannot bond a warder until you're full Aes Sedai, and they don't just teach it to you. Because if you were a Black Aja and you went around you could just bond people without their consent, it's the big problem. And I think that's I think that's part of it. And I agree. It's weird. Oh, it's Danish. Oh,
Danish Krona, so very cool. I want to go to Denmark so bad.
I know, it looks so
There's a
nice.
Danish pastry place in Toronto that
It's like the Danish Pastry House or something.
I just want to go eat Danish food so bad.
One day we'll make our way all around the Netherlands, all around Europe.
I think we're going to go to Europe next year.
We're going to try.
Yeah. If prices are acceptable.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, the bonding process being something that you can force on someone feels very off to me, considering how intimate and important the relationship between the warder and the bonder after that is.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that this is, in this case it's bad. She's saving her life. I think that it's the right thing to do here. I just wish that it had been Birgitte, the only way I can save you is this, and Birgitte had been somewhat out of it but still managed to consent somehow to the process. That would have just made me like it more.
For sure. I think that it will be a point of their relationship potentially 2 or 3 books from now of you did this to me and you didn't ask me. At least I hope that it is going to come up.
I don't think so in this case. I think Birgitte knows she was dying.
Yes.
I think Birgitte, I don't know. I don't think Birgitte was the kind of character that would do that.
Here's the thing. It's if you were in the hospital,
yeah,
for example, and you were in a coma.
fan, thank you for that super chat.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you.
To bond someone against the will is essentially rape among the Aes Sedai.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, but that's only that's their cultural idea of it, which is appropriate, right?
Yeah. It makes sense that it's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you were in a coma, dying in a hospital, and they had to do some kind of very invasive surgery or whatever it was to save you, and you couldn't consent, they would still do it. It's a life-saving procedure.
Well, no, you would have to make that decision.
Well, no, for example, if you were traveling and your identification got lost, you crashed in a plane or something, who knows, right? And they didn't know who you were. They had no family members to ask. Yeah. If you were a John Doe in a hospital, they would have to do it to save your life.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be mad at them for that.
Well, but that's what I mean. It's basically this kind of instance.
Although no, I guess you do see that there are people who end up in wheelchairs and they do end up being I guess
It's tough, right? And it's complicated and it's not black and white really. So it does make it more fascinating. But I am interested to see how this comes back in later books. I also think, and this is just me spitballing, I think that the process of bonding a warder and the 13 Aja, 13 Madral controlling a person, I wonder if those are very similar and one stemmed from the other.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You need one.
the Black Aja took that information when they became bad and figured out how to literally like control people.
I actually don't think they're related.
No?
No, because one is about control, but I said I don't control their warders. They have no, they don't like...
I thought that they did have a... No,
Lan is independent.
No, Moraine does that to Lan. She's like, I changed your bond and you will be compelled to go, you have to go find this person when I die.
I don't, yeah.
Right?
I think that can happen, but I think the regular bonding relationship, like, literally gives superpowers to the warder. I don't think that the control of the Aes Sedai in the other one... They're probably offshoots of the similar use of the power, but I don't think that like one led to the other. I think that there was like probably another power that like was spun out into those.
I'm pretty sure that the Aes Sedai can like slightly compel their warders.
I mean, but Aes Sedai can slightly compel everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. They seem similar to me, and so I want that like backstory of them, like if that was what it stemmed from, you know, the like evil people taking this thing and making it like.
Chazelle says, "Imagine bonding a Madral as a warder." That's cool.
Do you think Padden Fane does that?
Oh no, Padden Fane can't channel.
I guess, yeah.
But that would be cool.
He
you know what?
Dagger,
I want there to be one good Madral. I want there to be a Madral who's on the good guys team.
Madral.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be fun to have, like,
Narg
the
smart.
one... Yeah. We get Narg back. When the Horn of Valir is blown, Narg shows up, right? We are all in agreement. Narg is at the final battle as one of the heroes blown back into existence by Matt.
Yeah, he's one of the blown back into existence. Wow, Matt gets real busy.
If you're good enough, you can blow someone back into existence. So, So, yeah, that's it. Birgitte's really sad because... Rocky is gonna not have her as his love this lifetime.
What?
Whatever his name is. Rocky. Radin. Whatever. I don't remember his name.
Who? What?
Her, like, boy toy that she always gets spun out with.
Oh, Gaidal?
Gaidal, that's it. Sure.
Rocky?
Yeah, he reminds me of Rocky. Every time they're in a scene together, I imagine Sylvester Stallone from Rocky being like, "Hey, Birgitte. Hey, yo, Birgitte. We gotta go back and fight with the, we gotta go back and I literally, like, because he's, like, he's big, he's not as tall as Nynaeve thought, and he's got, like, a scar on his face, he's not that handsome, but, like, Birgitte thinks he's handsome, and so every time I've just pictured Rocky Balboa.
All right,
I don't know why.
Is now Rocky.
I just picture Sylvester Stallone as Gaidal.
That is, he's, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We do need to speed up, though.
Great. All right. Next chapter.
We need to say Birgitte is going to shoot arrows at Nynaeve. And Nynaeve is like, you were dying a second ago. And Birgitte's like, go on.
I'm fine.
Go on, fine.
I got this.
Chapter 37. Nynaeve pisses off everybody by constantly doting on Birgitte. And Birgitte is like, fucking stop.
Yeah, Birgitte is like, I used to like you, and now I don't. It's like, oh my god.
And so Nynaeve, because she is feeling guilty, she decides to wear the slutty red dress. Which I was like, that's a choice.
Kind of weird, but all right.
And the circus begins. And Elaine, it doesn't want to channel. Because Elaine is scared that the Forsaken or the Chosen, depending on whether or not you're a good or a bad person, might be near. And so Elaine can tightrope walk now.
Perfectly. She's really good at it, in fact. Have you ever tried to do a backflip on a tightrope? No, me neither, because I value my life.
She's like, I did this with the power a couple of times. I can tightrope walk now. It's fine. I can do cartwheels.
Yeah, I got this.
I mean, she's like literally, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I understand. I understand that the one power allows you to do incredible things, but this was a step too far for me. I didn't like this.
Yeah, too far. That suspension of disbelief is kind of ruined.
Do you know how hard it is to do a cartwheel on like a balance beam, which is twice as thick as this?
I have.
Like,
I crushed myself and it hurt like a fucking bitch.
But Elaine apparently is like a world-class chef. Elaine is starting to be a little bit Mary Sue-y.
Yeah.
She's the
figures
first
out
person
the
in Thousand Years
Adams.
who can make Adams.
Yeah.
She knows how to bond people. She can tightrope walk without the power in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of times this section in particular, I was like, is there anything this girl can't do?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I like legitimately.
Seamus says first time we met Elaine, she'd climbed a tree in a dress. She's pretty nimble. I can climb a tree in a dress.
Climbing it, I could
climb a fucking mountain in a dress. I can't walk a tightrope, let alone cartwheel on one. It takes years. And I know because I've worked with Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
I literally know people who can do this. It is so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not good at communicating to Rand. There.
She's not good at communicating.
That's her downfall, I guess.
And she's
also a good seamstress.
No teachers because the tightrope walker before her died.
Yes.
There is.
Apparently, Tom taught her.
Tom only taught her how to do a backflip.
Oh, and she figured out how to do it on
She figured out everything else. Tom taught her how to do a backflip.
Maybe she's Ta'veren.
I literally, like, when Nynaeve was like, she's not even using the power, and I was like, then what are we doing?
Yeah, honestly, I was
we have
like,
to move on from it, because I could complain about this for like 4 years.
Yeah, don't like it.
I didn't like this moment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the one thing in the chapter is I do want to mention that Elaine is very candid with Julian and Tom about what happened.
Yeah.
Which
and they finally tell Tom and Julian about the Chosen.
Yes, very nice.
Is it weird that I keep calling them the Chosen?
People keep calling us dark friends.
Well, I'm not a good person.
Ken, don't worry about it.
This is why they call Elaine one of the Supergirls. Isn't it the Wonder Girls?
Supergirls, Wonder Girls, yeah.
The same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
It's a little too convenient.
Yeah.
Right? You know, for the guys, they're Ta'veren, so you just kind of accept it, and the girls are just good at everything. However, I did just want to mention that Elaine does the right thing with Tom and Julian, and I do really appreciate that. I think it's necessary, especially in the kind of danger that they're in.
Well, and I really appreciated Tom and Julian being like, nah, we're good, we're here.
Yeah. Julian's like, screw me if I've ever left a woman in danger. Like, I'm not
also, the fate of the world is at stake? What am I going to go farm?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just going to go bury my head in the sand.
I might as well help.
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
And so Nynaeve, while they're watching Nynaeve, Nynaeve's like, hey, I know that guy. And so she leaves. She looks at the circus and she goes, there's plenty of time before my act.
They don't seem to have a schedule because she gets back perfectly in time for the act. There's no schedule.
But not only that, but everyone else is performing at the same time.
Yes.
Like everything, like it doesn't seem like there are acts going on. It seems like there's like sections.
I do not think Robert Jordan has ever been involved in a live theatrical production. After reading this section.
She was like, I've got time to leave. I was like, what do you mean you have time to leave?
Where's the stage manager?
How long is the circus?
Yeah, that stage manager is going to be looking for you, calling for places, and you're not there. Rude.
But every time she's like, I still have time till my act. I was like, you don't have a watch. What do you mean you still have time? What time is it?
Yep.
How would you know what
Summertime.
time you're going on if you're not there?
Yeah, I don't. The sun. She's got a sundial.
So she leaves.
She leaves. She's like, hey, I recognize that guy. And follows him.
It's one of my favorite Chicago-style pizza places. Uno.
Is that a real place?
Yeah, in New York.
Oh, okay.
Uno Pizza. It's good.
Sure, great.
One of my best friends worked there in college, and so we would eat and drink there a lot. But yeah, so Uno's just chilling.
Yeah.
Uno is here.
He's like, hey, that girl on the tightrope, she's very regal. And Alina's like, get this, though. That's the daughter heir. Am I right?
Like, she should not be wearing pants.
I know. Oh, God. It was great. The moment later, we'll get to that. Anyways, yep, flaming Uno.
Dakuna, did you just get an ad in the middle of the stream?
We did not put it there. So.
I did not turn ads on, so there shouldn't be ads during the stream. If anyone's getting ads during the stream, can you let me know? Because I want to find a way to stop that from happening.
It shouldn't happen unless we...
I know, that's why I'm confused. But Dakuna just said hashtag ad. Oh, me talking about Uno Pizza.
Okay. I was like, no advertisement.
Okay. Glenn Peterson, thank you for that.
Thank you.
One of the things that set Wheel of Time apart from other mainstream fantasy at the time was that Wheel of Time characters kept secrets from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it is true. Yeah. I really do. You were saying a joke. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because they've been pushy with the ads lately.
No, you're fine. We don't know.
And so Uno's like, well, she should be wearing a dress because women should not wear pants, but fine. Do you want to come meet the prophet?
Masema? Yeah. Remember Masema? Yeah, that guy. We called that. We literally knew exactly who that was. The prophet, like 3 books ago.
I think we called it. We always knew who it was.
Did we know?
Yeah, it was always Masema was talking about, he was spreading the gospel of the Dragon Reborn.
I don't know if it was ever actually said.
Yeah, it was.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was, because he wasn't the prophet at first. It was just Masema is saying, because Swan gets the letter on her desk saying Masema's spreading, some man named Masema's talking about the Dragon Reborn.
Oh, okay.
And then he becomes the prophet later.
I'm not as smart as I think I am.
Yeah. That was not one that we called. But.
Okay. Gotcha.
She's led into Samara.
Yeah.
Thankfully, these next chapters I think are going to go a little quicker than the first. Sorry, I made that first conversation very long.
Well, it was an important conversation.
Mm-hmm. So they meet up with Reagan.
Yeah.
Fucking Reagan, man.
Yeah.
Terrible president.
Wow. Okay then. Okie dokie.
So yeah, they go to the prophet's house. They give up their weapons, and they go inside, and it's a crap hole, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because Masema, unlike real world religious figures, doesn't hoard wealth.
Yeah. I love that Nynaeve is like, oh yeah, these paintings and tapestries, they're mediocre. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you are a connoisseur of tapestries and paintings now. Okay?
Yeah, she literally says, it's been a year. I'm somewhat of a connoisseur of art now.
Yeah, I was like, wow, can I do that in a year? Because that's great.
Here's the thing, though. At no point in any of the books has she ever cared about that stuff. So it's weird that she's become a connoisseur.
Not once.
Like, who taught her that?
Yeah, the only thing we've seen her, like, pay attention to is, like, clothes.
Yeah.
So this was kind of out of left field, but I was like, all right, cool. I loved the line, mere mortals must obey.
Mere mortals must... Oh, yeah.
Just like this guy. So we see Masema with this noble woman, right? And she's...
Not a noble woman. The queen of Gilded.
We find out is literally the queen, who is like, what, the 4th queen? Fourth ruler in the span of like a year or something?
No, 4th ruler since Masema got there.
So a year? I can't remember.
Oh, has it been a year? Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but he definitely's got, he's been there for a bit, and he's...
Iris Bear says, I also feel cultured after a museum visit.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
I love to wear my monocle and go down to the Fine Art Museum and see all of the things that we pillaged from people around the earth.
Oops.
Wait, what? Did I say something political? Am I being political today?
A little bit. You know what? I'm here for it. Nynaeve is like, men are oak and women are willows. I must be a willow. I was like, okay, where did that come from? That could have been very useful for the last 5 books.
Oh, this is a saying that she says but does not practice.
Right.
There is no willow in Nynaeve. There is only Alan Madrigoran's
willow.
Sturdy oak.
Oh my god. Yeah. So Masema...
6 months. So 4th ruler in 6 months.
Masema, crazy. Masema has convinced himself of this idea of Rand for, like, absolutely no reason. And it's funny because Reagan and Uno were also both there.
What do you mean no reason?
I mean, he's like... He has taken it upon himself to interpret what people should be doing based on, like, fighting with Rand and traveling with him for a bit?
No. Based on being raised on the border, fighting this endless war, and being told that this endless war ends when this man comes. Like, Masema exists in a world where he has been told his whole life that his people will fight and die until Rand stops it, right? And so when he sees that man, and that man is as powerful as the prophecy says he would be, because he saw Rand fight the devil in the sky. It's not based on nothing. It's not because they fought side by side with swords. He looked up into the sky and watched a moving painting across the world of Rand fighting the literal devil.
Sure. And so from that, he interpreted that, wealth is bad, Aes Sedai are bad, lust is bad. He's just decided all of these things based on,
oh, yeah, anything that gets in the way of being there to help Rand at the final battle is bad to him. Yeah. But I'm saying it's not based on nothing. It's based on a fantastical moment.
I just want to point that one out because I think you'll
Buffy
like it.
Wheel of Time crossover can get some Willow into Nynaeve. Nynaeve does not come across as bi to me.
No.
Nynaeve?
She is, on the spectrum, she is very straight.
Yeah. Nynaeve is only good at... Nynaeve will only look at a vagina if there's a baby coming out of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do like saying the literal devil. I think it's one of my favorite things to say. but I don't know. I don't think it came from nowhere with...
Nynaeve is lansexual.
I don't think it came out of nowhere. I think that, what Masema saw in Falma, it would if you saw that, it would change the way you viewed everything.
Uno and Reagan are fine. They're Masema, he's taken this way too far. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Masema saw a thing and now thinks that he knows best. He knows better than everybody else, including the other people who were there with him.
That is not atypical for men.
Fair.
There are a lot of white men out there who think the exact same way about their thoughts.
You know what? That's fair. They took a women's studies class and now they think that they understand feminism.
If you are silly enough to pay for Daily Wire Plus, you can find out all the things that they think. Great. I got ads for that today on Facebook. It was do you want to pay to listen to Jordan Peterson talk? And I was like, no.
Absolutely not.
I don't want to listen to Jordan Peterson talk for free.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Look, I'm glad he's not dead. But, I'm not going to listen to the man who ate only meat until he was in the hospital for 8 weeks. It's not.
Oh, that's the man that Nynaeve is talking about when she's like, these guys, too much meat. They only eat ham.
Yeah. I was just usually my targeted ads are pretty good.
Yeah.
Usually it's software for video editing, Pokemon clothes. They know me.
Yeah.
And then I got a Jordan Peterson ad and I was like, Facebook.
Why?
What's wrong? You know me.
Blue, thank you for that super chat.
This can't be this can't be that hard.
We should react to those deleted scenes from season 1.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Oh my god, okay, guys, we're gonna do a reaction to that.
So yeah, we'll do reactions to the deleted scenes. That's awesome.
Nobody spoil it. We'll put that up on the channel later, for sure. You listen to Jordan Peterson on Audible with our link. Don't do that. Anyways, yeah, Masema is, I obviously has taken this way too far. And Nynaeve is like, well, if he looks for a boat for me, she's like, I've been summoned by the dragon. And he's like, of course, you're basically the mother to the dragon reborn. So we have to do what we must. Mm-hmm. Make sure you change. Because that dress, only for men. Yeah. I was like, wow, okay. The other thing as well is she was like, I love how she was like, why is Masema against marriage? There won't be any farmers and stuff. And Uno was like, oh, no, he's not against marriage. He will just gather hundreds of people together and pair them off. And I was like, yeah. Cult.
Masema's gonna have to be dealt with, unfortunately. Yes. He's not gonna bring anything to Rand. Rand is going to have to deal with him, and that's going to be unfortunate.
Problem. Yeah. The only thing Masema will be good for is if he can take out some of the white cloaks first.
Honestly, Rand may never see Masema.
Yeah, maybe.
Honestly, he might, because Nipple, whatever his face is.
Nipple?
Yeah, the guy, the leader of the White Cloaks. Pedronile, that's it.
Nipple?
All the letters are there, okay?
Okay.
Get off my dick. Pedronile, yeah, Nipple.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I am dyslexic. Do you see how my brain works though?
I do.
All the letters are there, yes. Except for the R and the D. But...
Yes. No, that's if you take the two words and put them together, yes.
I kind of read it as nipple sometimes.
Okay.
He is amassing his army nearby. So honestly, him and Masema might go to war before Rand gets there. And I can't imagine that Masema wins that.
No.
Right?
Especially because the White Cloaks are obviously trained warriors, and he's got a bunch of, farmers?
Yeah, and they're not well fed, right? Like,
No.
they're running out of food, whereas the White Cloaks will be well stocked from their country.
Yeah, for sure.
Nerdy, you seem distracted this week. Freud would have a field day. It's a Sunday, guys. It's supposed to be on my day off.
It's a chaotic
I don't stream on Sundays
club.
anymore because I was like, I need one day off a week, and now I don't. This was supposed to be my day off, and we're here working, and I love it.
The best work.
Oh yeah, no, I'm having a blast. I think this has been a great show so far. I think we've had some really good conversations.
Absolutely.
And really good action. Satisfaction in me. Did you just badumts that?
Yes.
Oh god, that wasn't funny. That was a bad joke.
That's why it's funny. Josh, thank you for that super chat.
To be fair, it's low-key amusing listening to Canadian Kermit the Frog rant about postmodern neo-Marxism. See, the thing you've got to understand is that if we were real men, we would go out into the forests and we would cut down our own trees.
Oh my god.
We would not need gas to warm our houses if we just burned more trees.
Wow,
and when my great-grandfather held an axe, he was a real man, okay? He only ate meat. He died at the age of 35.
Yeah.
And he was never home. My mother raised me by herself on a diet of cigarettes and whiskey. That's all I hear when he talks. Is just like waxing nostalgic about the days when his dad wasn't around.
Stone Age days.
I like Punk Canuck saying, also Punk Canuck. It's a great username.
I love that.
I wish that was my streamer name now. Punk Canuck. I'm not a punk though. I feel like I couldn't pull that off. Uno's quip about Nynaeve getting paired off is hilarious, and they missed it. Did we miss it?
We didn't miss it.
I want Nynaeve to get paired off by Masema.
No, that would not end well for any party involved at all.
All right, so they leave, and Masema's like, "I'll help you get a boat," and she's like, "Cool." And then they're being followed by, hey, a White Cloak. We were just talking about them, but
Guess
this
who?
is a specific White Cloak.
Guess who? Shocking. Guess who's there? Freaking Galad. Ruining everything. Not ruining everything. I love that Nynaeve is like, you know what? Two people looking for a boat is better than one person looking for a boat.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell Galad everything.
Also, Galad's confidence in that he could take Uno and Reagan, sexy.
Yeah.
I'm not usually attracted to Galad, but like in this moment, I was like, this is kind of hot.
I was like, you know what? I get it.
This is
Galad.
This is kind of hot. Yeah. He's so confident that he would win that fight.
Oh yeah, he like not even like bats an eye.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my god, he's wow, Galad honestly can get it.
Yeah, and honestly, here's the thing. This scene made me like him a lot.
Me too.
In a weird way because
Me too.
He's smart.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve plays into his intelligence to get away from him. And I really like when characters do that. I really like when characters look at another character that they need something from and that they need them not to do something. She needs Galad not to come to the circus.
Yeah.
And so she just brings up, like, hey, if you come, it's going to bring like, they just sacked that other circus. If you come, it's going to be bad for Elaine and I. And Galad thinks it through, is intelligent, and knows that to get what he wants, he has to do what she's saying in that moment. And it makes me be like, oh, this was a good character interaction between these two.
Yep.
And it made me like Galad more, which was very strange.
It made me like both of them more, to be honest. You know, like Nynaeve makes the choice to have an ally instead of an enemy. Mm-hmm. And it might bite them in the ass, but I get it. Like, I do. Yeah. I totally understand it. And so it's one of those things where I'm like nervous about where this leads to, but I completely understand why the characters in this instance like make the decisions that they make, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I love that Nynaeve then goes to Elaine, tells her, and is like, he swore. Like, he swore up and down on your mother. And Elaine is like, oh, well, yeah, okay, then we can trust him. And I was like, oh, wow, you guys, you know him really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's it was really interesting kind of I guess character development is the right way to put it.
Well, but also it helps that Sawan has been deposed, right? Because now when Nynaeve is like, we're not going back to the tower because of this reason,
yeah.
he believes them because he knows that things are bad at the tower, right? And so like there is the world situation is benefiting them as well.
Yeah. But
also he is like, God, there's crazy stuff going on in places like Saladar, and then he was like, That
Salidar.
I've been trying to think. God, oh my God, I've been trying to think of the word sal. Oh, it's Salidar.
This whole time.
We have eaten so many salads, and none of them made me think of Salidar.
I know. And she was like, he even said it at the end, but I was too distracted by how hot he was. And I was like, are you serious? Like,
he said Salidar before, but I was just so wet.
Like, Nynaeve, come on.
So she's like, all right, bye. We've got to go. See you later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she goes...
and she's also like, Uno, also don't come to the circus. Like, you guys are gonna draw way too much attention.
One of you come every night.
Not, like, into it, but, like, you go here, you ask for Nana.
I will pay your bills now. You work for me. And they're like, oh, there's 15 more of us. And she's like...
what? She's like, my bank account.
No, it's good. But it's not her bank account.
I know.
Nynaeve is so stingy with money that was free.
Yeah,
I'm like, Nynaeve, you were given this money for the mission. Mm-hmm. You're not, like, trying to save up to buy a house when you get back.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how much money you have at the end of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Like...
if the world ends, it doesn't matter. So now they kind of have their own mini army.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's nice. It's gonna be very fun.
Yeah, and like I like the Borderlanders. They're cool people.
They are cool.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the Borderlander stuff a lot.
You know what's interesting? Oh my God, wait, not to go all the way back to Magadian, because we're kind of done with her.
Uh-huh.
But her tying off Liandrin is like the tie off on Moiraine in the show.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
But who's powerful enough to undo it? The show's gonna make it Nynaeve. Nynaeve's gonna get real angry, and she's gonna be the one that breaks that shield.
I wonder, or if Nynaeve, because she's the one who can, like, heal, that she's really good at untying knots.
No, I think you have to, like, I think the shield has to be overpowered. I don't think it's, like, an intricacy thing.
Okay.
Because if it was an intricacy thing, then Mogadine wouldn't say that it's about someone powerful enough to do it. It's gonna have to be someone powerful enough to undo.
It'll never be undone. It'll have to be broken.
Or maybe he'll die and it will be undone. Like maybe like it can only stay on her as long as he's alive. So maybe killing him will undo it.
So when Rand finally stabs him, it'll undo it. Okay, yeah. Or Egwene will cry on it.
Didn't catch that. Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
Swan is good with fishing nuts. I want it to be that. Could
I
you
want it to be
imagine?
that too. That would be very funny.
She's like sitting there, like trying to untie invisible. Anyways, chapter 41.
Yeah. No.
No. What'd I miss?
No. Nynaeve goes back to the camp.
Yeah.
And she's like.
She tells him what's up.
Still time for the circus. And so Birgitte shoots arrows at her.
Right. That does happen.
And she takes off her dress, and everyone's like, oh, Nynaeve's titties.
Oh, but we also didn't see Val and Luca went looking for her because he's like, Val and
Luca's like in Samara.
Rough men. Okay, I'm gonna go get her and teach her a lesson. I was like, oh God.
Everyone left to go look for her because she didn't pay attention to the fact that once you're at places, you can't leave the theater, Nynaeve.
The stage manager says
no. There are rules to these things. Oh my God, I've worked on the show Smash a few times in season 1. And one of my favorites is we shot a scene in Central Park or in Times Square where Megan Hilty left the theater in her costume from the show, and her and whatever the other girl lead was. I love her too.
Dark-haired girl.
Yeah. She's also great on Scorpion. They sang a song. Well, drink to that. Hey. We filmed all night in Times Square one night, and then the show came out, and the number of my theater friends who are online being like, no freaking backstage person would ever let a Broadway actress leave in her costume. What is this bullshit? And I was like, guys, it's a television show. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
People were so upset that she left her in her costume.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as watching actors like eat in their costume when it's like on a film thing. Like,
no, we're not supposed to, but all actors eat in costume.
Yeah, but you at least put something over top so that they don't know.
No, we tell the costume people that we do that, but all actors eat in costume.
You are the worst.
Yeah. So Nynaeve gets shot at, but it goes okay.
Yeah, it goes fine because Birgitte is.
Oh no, but Nynaeve is also like, we can do it in the morning, and I'm like, when? What is the schedule of the circus?
It's a 24-hour circus. Obviously.
No.
They work it in shifts. Yeah, so chapter 41?
We're done with Nynaeve and Elaine.
Yeah.
Bye, girls. We'll see you next week.
Honestly, there was actually some interesting stuff in this Circus part, but just the fact that Elaine...
It's been 90 minutes, and we've gotten through 5 chapters.
Chapter 41, Rand gets binoculars made for him. On a tower. A tower with binoculars.
They're telescopes. They're not binoculars.
Telescopes are for the sky.
No, telescopes aren't telescopes when it's one?
Probably.
And yeah, because it's a telescope.
I know, binoculars is 2, but I always...
Technically, he gets 1 binocular, it just isn't connected. Because there's one for Rand,
2,
and then there's one for everybody
2,
else.
They're just not attached.
There's 2, and they telescope like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, no, it's a telescope. And so they build a tower.
A spyglass. That's the fantasy word for it. Thank you.
He says simply a nocular.
Oh my god.
A spyglass is a telescope. No, it's not. A spyglass is actually they're probably spyglasses. They're probably not telescopes.
Yeah.
Telescopes by necessity telescopes move, right? Like telescopes can change. A spyglass is 2 lenses that have a set distance, right? What makes a telescope is that when you do the like action of the telescope, it changes the distance that you can see. So like telescopes have a varying ranges because you can shift the glasses inside to look at different, like a lens in a camera, a zoom lens.
Right.
Whereas a spyglass is like a prime lens, and that there is one thing that it can see.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And so he builds a tower and he's looking at Couladin, and it's bad. It's not a good situation.
It is. It's bad. And they see Couladin get attacked by flying spears.
I'm probably wrong about that. Chat's about to explain that I'm wrong.
Oh god.
Ecro says telescopes don't have to be adjustable. I'm wrong. All right, cool. So Randa gathers together the Tel'aran'rhiod, and he gathers together some clan chiefs, and he's like, all right, we're gonna do it tomorrow. Egwene, do you wanna use the power? And Egwene's like, yeah.
Yeah, I love that Moiraine can't.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't attack. Can't, like, it's like they're in this situation where
she's said her oaths.
Yeah, exactly. I just mean in this situation, it's like, God, she could be. I mean, I guess she's healing people, so she's helping, but she probably has so much more in-depth knowledge for like how to go about fighting, and she's like, wow, I can't. No way.
Yeah, and so the only thing in the way of the plan is a man named. Look, guys, I think this is a Digimon. I think that Digimon are in the Wheel of Time. His name is Weramon.
Oh, that guy. I was like,
he's a Digimon, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agumon evolves into Greymon, who evolves into Weregreymon, who evolves into Weramon. Yeah. Okay. So the Digimon from Tyr, he's Rand doesn't want to deal with him, so he sends him back. He's like, fuck off.
He's like, you are stupid.
Go do something else.
You're dumb. Leave. Oh my god. No, I love that. He's like, let me at them. Literally, and Rand is like, no, like holding him by his scruff, like.
Yeah, no. Rand's like, I don't need you. Go home.
Yeah.
Leave everybody else, but you go home by yourself.
Yeah, basically. He's like, I need you to do other things. Go occupy yourself. What do you... The weird spears that like fly at Couladin and his men are like...
I thought that was going to be so relevant later.
Me too.
And it wasn't.
Come back. That's why I was like, I wanted to like ask you what you thought it was. Like, do you think that they have like a scorpion from Game of Thrones? Or like...
But I have no idea. It literally, they make such a big deal about the fact that Couladin doesn't get hit by the spear. Yeah. And then the spears are never brought up in the entire battle sequence. And I was like, okay.
No, they are mentioned very briefly in passing that occasionally like a spear would fly from Couladin.
All right.
Like...
I don't know. I thought that they were going to matter more, and they didn't. They were never like, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
They have ballistas, I guess, or scorpions or whatever. They have them, but I was waiting for it to matter, and it didn't.
And it didn't. Yeah, I thought it would be more important, but it wasn't. Yeah. So they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight tomorrow.
People say it comes back. Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Oh, maybe they get like attacked. You know what I mean? Like maybe Rand has to man a ballista It's like in all of the Call of Duty missions where like eventually you get stuck on like a sitting gun and you just have to take out like a wave of enemies. Rand has to do one of those missions next week.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
So we cut to, if this will go over to the next thing. Yep, there it is. Matt is like, you guys, you know what? I don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good.
And like Melindra, I'm not going to marry her because she doesn't know shit about the 9 moons. So, you know, I think I've had enough sex with this woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna go off to Dakuna just deleted everything.
And sex, they both did.
So
Y'all hear real quick. If we speculate about things or whatever, don't confirm it. You know, like we appreciate that you guys.
I think they just deleted every time someone said ballista because people kept saying it.
They're like, that word is banned.
Yeah.
This is just your friendly reminder that you guys are.
You know what we should start doing?
What?
We should add a banned term each week, like one word, and the chat has to find it.
Why would we do that?
For fun. There's just we'll find a word every week that we ban, and then chat has to like figure out what that week's. Chat has to figure out what the banned word of the week is.
Oh my god,
that'd be fun.
Oh, that's so chaotic. Thank you, mods. First of all, you guys, you know we appreciate the heck out of you. Second of all, it's never anything personal if the mods delete your message. They are trying to protect us as best as they can from any amount of spoiler.
Protect us.
They are. We are wee babes that need to be sheltered from Wheel of Time spoilers.
Oh my god. Guys, this episode might be our best episode, but it is so unhinged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it's
ban
wonderful.
the word power. That would be a funny week.
No, taint.
I'm never banning the word taint. So Matt is he's with Melindra, but he's like, I need to peace out. And so he decides to do that. While Melindra's not there, he heads to the tent to go like he heads to the tent to go to Rand's tent. And he walks in and Rand's not there, and he's like, oh, of course Rand's not here. There weren't 85 women outside.
Yeah, he's like,
because Rand is a baller. But
Asmodien is there, obviously, and he's like, well, all right, I'm gonna just wait here, I guess. And
Stop talking to me.
And then Lan shows up.
No, not yet. Lan shows up in the middle of Rand, because Matt is already over at the table.
Oh yeah, he goes to look at the table.
Matt goes to look at the maps.
And then Lan shows up.
And Matt, he's looking at these maps, and he's like lifting stones to read things, because he's like, I don't want to talk to Asmodien. So I'm just gonna
ignore
pretend I'm gonna pretend that I care about this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, God damn it, I know what to do.
Yeah. Matt's got that big brain.
So Lan walks in, and Lan is like, so what's up?
And
he's like,
this is the moment that it starts being one of my all-time favorite sections.
Yeah,
This
is
moment
really cool.
onwards. Because Matt is there, and he's just chilling, and Lan is like, so, general conversation starter. And Matt is like, so weird. Lan is usually like super quiet. And then just like tells him exactly the battle plan that he should do to have the best chances.
Yeah.
And Lan is like, oh, cool. Interesting. Wow, that's very fascinating. And Asmodien's sitting there like, literally, he's like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, and what I really appreciated about it is the attention to detail that Matt has to put to the 4 clans that they don't know what side they're on yet.
Yeah.
Because
they could fuck shit up.
They could fuck shit up,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole fight would have gone much easier if they had known that those 4 clans weren't going to be a problem. Because they weren't, you know what I mean? Like, after the fight, they just joined Rand. Yeah. But they have to plan for that. Mm-hmm. And so, oh no, guys, best adult dating site.
Sex bot, you're supposed to show up for Smut Corner. You're early. God damn it.
But also, we're married.
Never hiring these bots ever again.
Hiring these bots? I don't think you can joke about that, because people might think we actually pay for viewers.
I did not.
We don't pay for viewers.
No.
We don't need to. Our community fucking rocks.
Hell yeah.
But so Matt is in this position where he's like, okay, are those 4 joining up? We don't know yet. Okay, well then this is what you have to do. And he lays out the plan.
Yeah.
And Lan is like, that's my boy. Lan has a single tier.
Yeah.
Lan has that single dad tier where he's like,
man, it's utterly fascinating. Like, literally, I've read this section, I was like, holy shit. And then you find out later that Rand sent Lan in.
Yeah.
To find out what Matt knew, like to prod him without. I was like, what is happening? Like.
Yeah, because Rand knows that Matt went through the door that was like the door that he went through, right?
Yep.
And so he's like, something might have happened in that door.
Yeah.
Let's go watch. Go start shit. Hey, Lan, go start shit. I need a Lan that I can be like, go start shit.
Go start some shit. Thanks.
And so basically, Matt lays out the battle plan, and Rand comes in and is like, okay, that's mostly what we were gonna do, but we'll take that into consideration.
Some adjustments. All right, you run off, you do your thing, and let's prepare for opening night.
Yeah. So Matt is like, I'm leaving, and Rand's like, okay, cool. And Matt's like, you're not gonna try and stop me? And he's like, did I try and stop Perrin? And Matt's like,
touche.
Oh fuck, you didn't. Huh.
Yeah. So
okay.
Matt is like, wow, I don't feel the need to stay. This is really nice and refreshing. All right, I'm out of here. And then he leaves and is never heard from ever again.
Yeah. And then the Aiel are like, all right, we're going to add a couple of things that Matt said, but we're basically good to go. Tomorrow? Everyone good for tomorrow?
Good for your call times? Great. Places?
Everyone know what to say to your people? Cool.
Places?
Cool. And then we get the chapter that has probably one of the coolest chapter titles of all time. This Place, This Day. I read that and I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Like shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah. And so
you have a Scanny who you can tell to start shit.
It's true. Scanny will start shit for me.
Scanny is chaos.
Oh, we're playing Fortnite with them tonight.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if Fanta can because D&D, but we'll message Scanny.
Sorry, we're just like.
Sorry.
We're the most ridiculous couple. Oh man.
Anyways.
This is the least professional podcast on the internet.
I think you said most incorrectly.
But we are the number 4 book podcast in Argentina, so.
What? Let's go. What's up, Argentina?
Or at least that was true a few months ago.
When you looked at it. Maybe we're number 3 now.
Maybe we're number 3 now.
Maybe.
Someone messaged me, they're like, you're the number 4 book podcast in Argentina. And I was like,
amazing.
What the fuck?
We'll take it.
All right.
I love that for us.
I would love if there were like 4 book podcasts in Argentina.
We're the 4th. We're last.
Like they're all, every other one has been banned by the government or something.
Oh my god. Incredible.
So Rand wakes up early because he's like, oh man, a lot of people are going to die today.
Yeah. I don't know, if I was like going into a battle, I don't know, I would sleep either.
Well, no, part of the reason why he didn't sleep is Avienda changed in front of him with the lights on the night before, and he was like, God damn it, woman.
He's just too hard. He's a stomach sleeper, but he can't roll over.
That's not really how that works.
Sure.
Okay, it kind of is. Like, it's a lot of, you just kind of like end up like getting a little humpy with your mattress.
Are you a stomach sleeper now?
I'm not hard when I go to bed.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to follow that up with anything.
There was a moment of silence and then they moved on. It's
So
about to get dark in here.
Yeah, so once again, Rand is not letting the maidens near danger because he is this hung up on his idea that women need to not die for him.
Yeah.
Which is really pissing off all the women in his life who want to be warriors.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for when the tension of this breaks.
Yeah, when they, like, give him a spanking. Because it's Robert Jordan, right?
Yeah.
So...
So Lan is like, hey, dude, I see you have a sword on your hip.
Wait, no, I think
the fuck are you doing?
My favorite line.
Okay. Clarus, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our favorite segment, Clarus's favorite line.
Oh, is this a segment now? Wait, oh no.
I was trying to give you time to find it.
You're trying to give me time. I understand.
Oh, is this the sad boy Rand line?
Oh no, it's not this. It's at the end of, maybe it's at the end of 42.
Yeah, it's Rand has no time for...
Yes, this is it, guys. If you've ever been a 14-year-old who listens to emo music, so has Rand. The last line of this chapter is, tears were a luxury he could no longer afford, not even inside. Thank you. That's it, that's the end. Thank you.
Not even inside.
Not even inside, guys. My favorite line.
You know those inside tears.
Of the whole, those inside tears, they spicy.
Yeah. This is when I'm reminded that Rand is like 19 years old.
Yes, it's moments like these that really bring it back to you know.
Guys, I don't know why you're
reality.
that freaked out about I'm not hard when I go to bed. If I'm horny, I deal with it before I try and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't just like lie there hard all night.
That's
Like why would I do
being
that?
married is nice.
Yeah. If I'm hard, my wife takes care of it. That's
what marriage
that's
is.
the agreement.
Yeah. It's in the vows.
Which you can watch on you can go watch our vows on YouTube.
That's true. Our wedding is on YouTube. Anyway, sorry.
Why do you keep bringing that up today?
It's my favorite line, and it needed to be
That video is not monetized. Why are we bringing it up?
That's true. We make no money on it.
So Rand runs into Egwene and Aviendha, and they're like, we're gonna go climb the tower and do magic shit from the top of the tower.
Yep.
Oh no, Lan mentions the sword because he's like, you want to go fight Couladin.
Oh.
And Rand is like, no, what the fuck are you talking? I'm wearing a sword, dude. Like, fuck off.
Stop reading into this. It's nothing.
But
you're not my dad.
I really liked Rand saying, I'm not gonna fight him with a magic sword. It would be like fighting a child. And I'm like, Rand, fight him like he's a child. Like, kill him.
Yeah, don't be noble. This guy's a
This
dick.
isn't the time.
He does not deserve your G-Ito or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
He doesn't deserve it. Just kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rand's like, nah, I can't use my magic sword against him. I only use my magic sword against everyone else that I've killed with it.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
My lightsaber.
Oh, God. Uh-huh.
So Rand and Egwene, they go up to the tower and they study the field. And they're like, all right, you ready to do some shit? And they're like, let's do some shit.
And then they do some shit.
They do in fact.
Some shit was done.
Do some shit. And Rand just starts to like burn hills to cinders.
There's lightning, there's storms, there's fireballs. It's a, basic.
It's a regular fight in
D&D. Yeah, combat session. Exactly.
Except without any sort of like distance rules.
Yes, which is really convenient, honestly.
Yeah.
It just takes more energy, which they do talk about, that it is harder for them to channel at farther distances, which was I think worth mentioning, because otherwise you could just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna send a fireball over to the Sanchin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think it was worth mentioning.
Well, once they understand the gateways, though, they could do that.
True.
Like, Rand could just pop through gateways and drop a fireball and get out and drop, you know what I mean?
That's an interesting fighting tactic.
Yeah, that's basically the whole Department of Mysteries fight from the 5th Harry Potter movie, which, as cool as it is, watching it is nonsense. Because everyone is teleporting so much.
The teleporting thing that they... Anyways, we're not here
the movie version of that was really hard to watch.
We aren't here to talk...
but it was so cool, it was tough.
Anyways,
Yeah.
No, we don't... We're moving on.
Well, and the fact that everyone just casts the same spell all the time.
Yes,
but there's no difference.
It was random light spell.
Yeah. It was basically, these are guns now.
Yes, wands are guns. Anyways.
Matt's point of view. Matt is like leaving. He's like, fuck this shit.
I'm a peace out. I'm gonna go take the road south, getting out of here. And he's just like trotting along on Pips. He's like, all right.
And he sees some Tyrene and Carian men.
Life is a highway.
The Digimon is not with them.
The Digimon has been sent home.
Yeah, and so he's like, they're gonna die. I you know what? I'm just gonna go tell them they're gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, I see those Aiel. They miss them. You know what? I'm gonna just give them a friendly warning. Be like, hey, brother.
Yeah.
There's guys up there. Just, watch out.
And so he goes and he warns them, and he's like, you know what? I should also like give them a battle plan. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the logical thing to do.
Yeah.
It's the next step.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. So he does that. And then he's like, okay, I should go tell these Lancers what to do.
Yeah.
Or no, I should tell these cavalrymen what to do.
Yeah.
And the cavalrymen are like, we need to split in half.
Yeah.
I'll do it if you'll do it. And Matt's like, fuck.
He's like, okay, just this one time.
Okay, well, if these guys die, that's on me.
Yeah, he's like, and I don't want these people's blood on my hands. So like, okay, fine. You know
what?
So
6 hours later, Matt has fought every single person in the Shido army.
Literally, including Couladin himself.
Yeah.
Literally.
Matt's like, how did this happen?
It's literally the SpongeBob, 6 hours later. But that's why I loved this section so much, especially the Matt stuff. Oh my god. I've been waiting, I've really enjoyed Matt's sections so far. Definitely. This, push it over the top for me. It was so good. So well written. We've talked about Robert Jordan Wright in combat and how time just seems to kind of disappear, which it makes it feel super visceral, but also super detached. like at the same time. I don't know how he does that. It's really incredible.
How do you pronounce the word Talmenes?
Talamenes.
Talmanes.
Talamayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Arnold Schwarzenegger say mayonnaise?
No, I have not heard Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mayonnaise. It's mayonnaise.
Oh my
You've got to
God.
put some mayonnaise on your sandwich.
Matcham Cawthorne, a series of fortunate events.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. That is so funny, Becca Karn.
Talmanese.
Talmanese?
Talmanese is pronounced goat.
I like him a lot.
Great.
We've never, he might have been mentioned earlier, but we've never spent time with him. He's a really cool character.
He's been mentioned, but, actually, like, him being there, here's the thing. Characters, to me, are so fascinating when they can see, I don't want to say greatness, but, like, intelligence, at least, in other people.
Yeah.
What that guy's saying, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'm smart enough to know that this guy knows what he's doing. So I'm going to stick with that guy. Yeah. And it pays off for them, right? Like, they're able to really deal a blow to the Shido army. And also help prevent, like, or maybe I'm getting that backwards.
What?
The one of the other clans, no, they show up near the end. That's later. Yeah. That's the next day. But that's what I mean. This whole, like, chaotic battle war fog is so well done by Robert Jordan. I'm always blown away every time.
Catharak says, during Nerdy's rating video, I thought that Matt would have been S tier if he had done it 1 week later. Yeah.
Yes.
Because right now I'd rank him an S tier character. I loved this section so much.
This section was incredible.
This section did for Matt what the Battle of Emmons Field did for Perrin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it really solidified, like, what his value to the series is.
Yes. As much as we do miss Perrin in this book, do you think he's going to be in it at all?
Who?
He got bail fired.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Our boy. I
know, Perrin, boys.
I think he's going to get, like, 1 chapter at the very end, but that's, like, it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. Excuse me. So we cut back to Rand. We're now in chapter 44. So there's only 3 chapters left. And we're still under 2 hours. We crushed it. We turned the ship around.
Turned this around. I also thought of a good t-shirt idea.
Oh. Okay.
It's like...
these t-shirts that we never make.
These t-shirts that never get made. But it just says, I'm no bloody hero. And it's kind of the outline of, like, the shadow of Matt, like, riding away on a horse with his hat and his spear. Like, just, like, kind of the outline of it. Of, like, you don't... Like, the color is maybe, like, the sunset behind it. Anyways.
Yeah.
John, thank you for that
You do, like, a circle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the silhouette of Matt cut out of it.
Yeah, and it just has the inscription in the middle.
Perrin is on honeymoon.
He's finding North Harbor. John, thank you so much for that super chat.
That's very funny.
Talmanese.
Johnny Everett, thank you.
He's Italian.
Talmanese.
Right, I think that's a great t-shirt.
It's a me, Talmanese.
Maybe we'll get that one made.
Maybe.
Because maybe we'll actually remember that one. I don't know. Anyways.
I still I cross my arms under these.
No. It's just a pair of arms.
Just a pair.
Just like crossed like in front like this.
Oh man.
Yeah. Very well. So
Berserker says, Nerdy, if your stream lasts longer than 4 hours, please consult a doctor. I've streamed more than 4 hours many
36?
times. Well, no, but like the 36-hour stream went poorly. But like I've streamed 12 hours easily many times.
Yes, you have. Yeah. I only do it when I'm playing Civ. It's just I get lost.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So Rand is channeling. He's tired. He's a Tord boy, but he's channeling like crazy. He's blowing stuff up. He's throwing lightning. No, the girls are throwing lightning. He's just like straight up murking shit. And suddenly, out of nowhere, he feels another man channeling, and he's like, Asmodien.
Yeah.
But no, it's not Asmodien.
It's not.
It's our boy, Sammy Davis Jr.
Well, we don't know.
Blowing the tower down.
Yeah, we don't know that it's him.
Yeah, we do.
Do you think so? Do you think he would put himself in that position? Because he is already very upset about what he's like agreed to do with the other Forsaken.
This is what he's agreed to do, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking because I'm actually not sure.
I think he takes a shot at Rand. He misses, and he runs away. That's what...
Fair,
If it was Raven, he wouldn't have run away.
Right.
He takes his shot, he misses, and he runs like the coward that he is.
Yeah.
Like the jealous little, sniving coward that is Samael.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make it sense for it to be anyone else.
I guess so.
That we've met.
Well, I don't know.
Least.
Yeah, if it was some random person, then I guess that's different. But
yeah. There's also Rand brings up like he's like, I don't even know how much collateral damage I'm doing, and I was like, yeah, your strategy's terrible.
It's
like in our modern war for people to be in a firefight and for there to be planes just dropping bombs randomly, not knowing where the combatants are. Because you can't kill any Shido from afar with magic without also killing your own people.
Well, exactly.
Because they're fighting spear to spear. They're not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're in, like, regimented lines.
Well, and it's hard. I feel like they're probably all dressed the same.
From a distance, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell.
Yeah.
And that's tough. Like, this is where, like, Rand is kind of, like, cutting himself off emotionally, right?
Nimby under her name says, Rand glassed a hill. Next step, planets. What is this, Halo? What is this?
Yeah, no, there's definitely like friendly fire going on, and it's tough.
Yeah, I agree with Ceasting. We have whole Forsaken chapters saying this was the plan, to bait Rand into coming after him so the others can gang up. Yeah, so this is definitely Samael.
Okay,
It'd be weird if it wasn't.
He does the one thing and runs away.
Because Raven is busy.
Yeah.
It would be weird for it to be who? If it's not Raven, Samael, or Asmodien, who would it be?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the tower. Samael blows the tower to smithereens.
Yeah.
And they all fall. I'm assuming the girls survive because they fall on their massive bosoms.
Yeah.
Which just provide the cushioning like airbags.
Of course.
To stop them from getting hurt on the ground.
Thank you, Robert Jordan, for providing that for us.
So Rand's little wound is open again because
they fell.
Yeah.
They fell.
Do you think this wound ever gets healed, or is it just do we hear him complain about it for 10 more books?
No, I think it's gonna be like Aragon, where there's some kind of like ritual.
The magic dragon tree heals him.
Exactly. The Agati Blotrin is gonna they're gonna take the dragon.
I'm sorry, what?
The Blotrin. It's like the with the
Bloldrin.
Yeah, it's like.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, Agati Blodrin, because it's the O has the dots on the top.
Eric says their bras double as parachutes. That's a big cup.
Oh, right. Why didn't I think of that?
They also land directly on Rand. Hot.
Well, he does grab them.
That's how I got hurt when I was in high school. Yeah, on stage a girl fell.
All these women falling on top of you?
Yeah, on stage at Grandstand.
Oh,
yeah, off the tap steps.
Yeah.
That's how I got my right knee injury.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 women fell on me on stage, and 2 girls, not like 2 fellow dancers.
Yeah.
That's how I messed up my knee. That's how I ended up in physical therapy. For
that.
a year and a half of my life.
Love that for us.
Yeah.
Live theater, ladies and gents. There's nothing like it.
And I wasn't an employee, so I didn't get workman's comp. It's complicated. But yeah, I've literally been in this situation.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Rand is like, if I'm gonna fight, I need to get closer. And the girls are like, no, don't do it. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And they're like, fine, we're coming.
I do love though that the one.
Oh no, he's like, Sorelia, leave some women behind, but we need some Fardoria's May to come with me. And
yes.
Sorelia's like, all right, I'm gonna bring the ones you don't want. Because they mother you.
Well, but it was also the ones that were not injured, right? He's like, anyone who is injured has to tend to their wounds. Anyone who is like in 100% health, which she's not, but she's like, fuck it, will come with me as protection, right? And this is where it's like kind of like a war haze, right?
Yeah.
Where it's suddenly hours later.
JJ Puckhead says Avi's speech, don't skip it. Can you find it really quick?
Yes.
Should be 42.
42? No. It's
44. Because I don't remember exactly what she said, but. Well,
she tells him that, like,
it's at the beginning.
It basically, like, that he's being dumb. Which is, like, shocking. Nope, that's Asmodien.
Sulin, not Sorelia. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh.
There's too many fucking...
Right, she's the wise one.
Mm-hmm. There's too many fucking characters in this fucking book.
This one.
Yeah.
You have taken away what we are, what we were. You must give us something in return, something to be. We need you. I need you, not for myself, you will understand, for Elaine, obviously. What is between her and me is now... What is between her and me now is between her and me. But I will hand you to her. I will. If you die, I will carry your corpse to her if you die.
Elaine doesn't want that.
No.
To just get, like, a decomposed body.
Yeah. I think it's more for emphasis as opposed to like actuality, right? But yeah, this whole idea of the like you have to be more than what this is currently. Like you broke us, or like the prophecy says, you need to fix it somehow, right? Like it doesn't matter how, but you have to give people a reason to come together and unite and be a people once again.
And Rand's like, that's not gonna happen. That's not what I'm doing. Because I'm using you. Sorry about it.
Well,
no, I like that Rand is acknowledging it. Rand is like, look, I have to do this, and it sucks, and it's not what he wants to do, but he has to.
He's like, I'm so sorry that like.
But internally, not externally, but internally, he's being very aware of the fact that he's using people.
Yes.
And I appreciate that about him. It's why he's a good person, right?
Yes.
Elaine wants Rand hard, not alive. I think she wants him alive, but not crazy. So we cut back to Matt, and Matt is in the rain, and he's hanging out with his new boys, who are like, this Matt guy. Guys, this Matt guy's pretty cool. And so they're about to have another fight. And Matt tells them to raise the cry, protect the Lord Dragon, because he wants to convince people that Rand is with them. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
This is the moment where I was like, oh, Matt is going to fight Couladin.
Yeah. Yep. Which I'm kind of sad that we missed the like blow by blow. But honestly, I kind of liked how it was done.
But it's a smart strategy, right? Like, I need them to not. I need them to not know the cavalry's coming. What is the one thing they care about more than anything in this fight? The dragon. We need to convince them that he's here.
Yeah.
So it's a brilliant, like, from a tactical maneuver. I'm like, this is great.
So smart.
Yeah.
Because now you know that they will go maybe past what they would have originally to get to you and to stay there to hold their ground. And that's how you can get them. And then they got him.
So we cut back to Rand. We don't get to see that battle. We just see them prep it. And we cut back to Rand, and Rand is like, he's done. Samael has attacked him more times.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know how many times.
Yeah.
But he can't attack back because he doesn't know where he's being attacked from yet.
Yeah.
So, like, it's tough. Samael's got the upper hand in terms of hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think he's like, I wonder if he's like got one of those like portals thingies. Like he's doing the Doctor Strange and he's got like a bunch of portals and he's like bopping around, you know?
Doing the Doctor Strange. I like that. I like that this is doing the Doctor Strange.
What else would be doing the Doctor Strange?
We need to make this a TikTok dance.
I love it. That's the new TikTok dance.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. So Rand is like, oof. And Sulin is like, yo, dude, you need to go see the Wise Ones. And Rand is like, no, Egwene, Aviendha, and I have got this. And Sulin's like, who are you talking about?
They're not here, bro.
They left hours ago. And he's like, oh, yeah.
I know, he doesn't even, like, remember. Like, Rand at this point is losing it.
No, he's not. He's been in the void. I think that this is one of those, like, when he's in the void, he can't even register what's going on. He's so focused.
Not quite to this extent, right? Because he's kind of, like, wobbling between him and Levitt, right?
Oh, that's true.
The whole,
that's
like, Destroyer of Hope thing that comes up, and all this name, whatever the name was. There was a name, and I'm sorry, chat is going to probably tell us, but that he knows...
Samael's real name.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Very cool. But yeah, he's like, he is starting, I think, to slip and go mad, as well as, yes, he's in the void, and yes, it's like the war. Like, it's all of these things, which is why it's like, just like a little bit.
The other thing I really like about the names is that Asmodius... Asmodius? Yeah, that's it. Asmodien doesn't know Samael's real name.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even keep... They've even kept those secrets from each other. Because they don't trust each other at all.
Eliana! Yeah, he's literally like...
Eliana!
Eliana comes up many times throughout this chapter. And it's very fun.
It is very fun.
It's like kind of horrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
But I love the mechanic of like learning about these past people through the people that we currently have, that we are currently like reading about. Yeah, it's just really well done.
1,000%.
I was literally talking to I don't know if I'm too late. I was like, wow, Robert Jordan is such a better writer than George R. R. Martin.
You were talking to me.
That's what I mean. I was telling you, and then I was like, do I say it?
Oh, yeah.
It's really, like, stunning.
Eliana's soundbite on the Stream Deck when? We should put soundbites on.
That's a good one.
Eliana! It's probably going to become more relevant as he goes
I'm
crazier.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's a good one. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we can work on that. Just have a little button we'll put on here and here so we can each have one.
Asmodeus is a demon in the biblical Apocrypha? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
he's John Constantine villain.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a real world demon, so of course he's John Constantine villain, but that's where I know Asmodeus from, is John Constantine comics.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I like John Constantine a lot. He's a cool character.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so then that's kind of the end of the battle. We see Rand gets back to the camp, and then he, like, dies.
Well, yeah, they're like, you've won. They're like, he didn't even know that they won the battle.
He's still just blowing shit up, and they're like, Rand.
Hey, look at me. Yeah.
You did it.
He's so out of it. And he nearly kills himself, and he doesn't know. Like, he doesn't even realize, right? Because the void is...
That one power's tasty.
It's some good shit.
It's so tasty, even with the taint.
Yeah. It's like, you know it's bad for you, but it's so hard to stop eating it. It's like popcorn. Once you start, you can't stop.
But popcorn is not that bad for you. It's more like eating ass.
Ass is bad for you?
I mean, you're eating ass. Like, it's not like a healthy place to be consuming calories from, but...
You're not consuming any calories when you eat ass.
I hope not, but depends on how clean it is. Well, it's close to the taint, right? So you're getting a little bit of taint when you eat ass.
I quit. That's it. That's for me. I quit the play. See you never.
So, Matt, we catch up with Matt, and he's sitting on a boulder?
Yes.
To which I was like, why?
He found the first thing he could sit on. He was tired.
But I'm assuming he had to climb up on it. So I picture him sitting cross-legged like a guru in a movie, being like, why is he on a boulder?
Matt is the love guru.
It's just, the word boulder threw me off.
I don't know.
Because it pictured like all of his men below him and him up on this boulder being like, we win.
Well, no, his men are running around drinking and frolicking.
I know, but why is he on a boulder? It was just the word boulder made it seem like he fought all day and then he climbed up on this big boulder. Like if he was just sitting on a rock, you know what I mean? Then you're sitting on a rock, but you have to get on a boulder. You can't just like squat down on a boulder.
I imagined a boulder was like waist height. So you just kind of like
I would call that a rock. I wouldn't call that a boulder.
It's a rock.
Welcome to the rock, an islander. I am an islander. Yeah, I don't know.
If Newfoundland,
it could be a small boulder.
If something as big as Newfoundland is a rock, I don't think it's about size. I'm just saying.
Size matters, kids.
The boulder is a powerful earthbender.
Sindar Gaming says, "Nerdy, you get hung up on the strangest things." I know. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But I can't change.
That's
you know
why
what I mean?
You love us. That's why you're here.
I think it's what separates this show from other shows, is that we talk about the stuff in these books that nobody else talks about.
No, it's not a rock. It's a boulder.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking? One of my favorite experiences in my life. I was working in Japan for Disney, and I was touring with this orchestra, and I became really close with the French horn section, and we would do everything together. Like we went to theme park. Oh, it was great. I loved my French horn section. They were my girls. And so we were at dinner eating cow intestine, which was a strange, very tasty but strange meal. And I was trying to get them to say, "Do you smell what the rock is cooking?" Because it was a game we would play where I would teach them weird American phrases, and they couldn't. It literally got to the point where we kept going because it was so funny how long it was taking them to like figure out how to like say the rock is cooking. And so I have a video of my friend Tomoko saying it, and it's like one of my like most prized possessions.
That's so fucking weird.
I know, I love them so much.
So wait, but who can run faster over long distances, a rock or a boulder? That's not, you're not supposed to try and actually, all right. So anyways, Matt is sitting there, and his men are frolicking around, and Couladin's head is just hanging on a spear. It's just hanging there. And he's like staring at Matt, and Matt is very uncomfortable. I like
that someone brought up the boulder from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I like the idea that Matt is sitting on the boulder.
Someone else literally was like, is a powerful earthbender.
I know, that's what I just read.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was referencing when I just said that.
That was like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, no, I just caught it, but I like the idea that Matt is like sitting in his lap. The boulder likes it when Matt Cawthon sits in his lap.
Oh my god. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, Couladin's head just chilling on a pipe.
Yeah.
It's very Ned Stark of it. I'm sorry, spoilers.
That was like decades ago.
Yeah,
honestly, the book was
2.5 decades ago for me.
Further, so
yeah.
So then we get Tel'aran'rhiod.
Tel'aran'rhiod.
He's like, hey, you know what, Matt? You're a cool dude. The
Guys,
dragon
I want to get
reborn
cast as Tel'aran'rhiod in the show so bad.
He's like, you are very mayonnaise.
Before we get into this, John Yarber, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
Is this a new time for this? I love it. No, this is a special 1 week thing because Canada's internet
internet went down so
on Friday.
We rescheduled for Sunday.
But no, we will be back next Friday.
Yeah. Although I'm glad people who normally can't make it live were able to make it to this one, and we love you guys.
Nimi brings up a good point. This book is probably older than Game of Thrones. This book probably predates the first Game of Thrones book. I think the first Game of Thrones book was 97.
Something like that. But yeah. The men around Matt literally like rewrite the song that he taught for them to include him.
Yeah.
And they're like, we follow you. The dragon, he's cool, but you know your stuff, and I will follow a smart man.
Well, and what I think is so interesting is that Matt keeps bringing up like, oh, Rand will be in the stories of this, but I won't. And this is the beginning of, no, Matt, you will be, because these songs are going to live on past you.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time where we see a moment where Matt keeps saying like, oh, like I'm not going to live on past this moment.
Yeah.
People will forget about me, but they'll remember Rand. But no, they're going to remember Matt because of the songs.
Yeah.
Because this is how we pass down the human story, right?
Well, and that's the thing. And like Matt might have literally changed this song because these people are going to sing it this way. They like... We'll toss the dice however they fall and snuggle the girls, be these short or tall, then follow young Matt wherever he calls to dance with the Jack of the Shadows. Like, the way that oral traditions are passed down. That's a callback. Go watch the last episode.
If you want to know more about oral traditions,
and oral,
audibletrial.com/nerdynightly.
Anyways, like this song, that version of it is probably going to exist in places across the continent for however many years to come.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so cool. That's so cool. I love it. Like this whole section, like I said, it was like on par with Viridian for me. I loved all of it. I was like, give me more.
No, for sure. It was great. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So then...
when Rand gets there and he passes out, Asmodien channels a little bit to try to help save him.
Oh, was that the end of the last chapter? I thought that was at the beginning of the next one.
Is it at the beginning? No.
Yeah, it must have been.
Right, because it's when he collapses. And then I think we jump to Matt.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was about to bring that up, actually. But yeah, no, so Matt is like, God, these boys are going to follow me everywhere now. And I'm like, Matt, you got your boys now.
You got your boys.
Let's go.
Nynaeve's got her boys. Matt's got his boys.
Everybody's got boys.
Rand's got his women.
Rand's got all the women. And more across the globe who want him. I wish there were women all over the planet who are like, I just need to get back to David so that I can throw myself at his feet.
After this weird letter
and
he
share
wrote
him
me.
with a bunch of other hot ladies who have superpowers.
As long as like I can partake.
Yeah, you need superpowers though, babe.
That's fine.
You're slacking.
I'm just saying.
So he wakes up and Asmodien, I did like this. Asmodien was like trying to give him crap.
Yeah.
About how he was channeling, but people were there, so he's like trying to give him crap without anyone figuring out that he knows.
About it. I was like, okay.
It's like Asmodien.
Well done.
It was like the closest I got to what I want from scenes with him, and I was kind of into it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Rand wakes up from near death and is like, you know what? Now is a good time to go to Cairhien because all these nobles have showed up.
Before we do that, I do want to talk about the fact that the wise ones are having like the Entmoot. Where they're like, you can't, no. The wise ones have to make a bunch of decisions before the four clans will join.
Yeah. He's like, what are they talking about? And he's like, not your business.
But also he's like, when will it end? Don't know.
Do you know?
Okay, we're kind of on a schedule. Can we move this along? Nope. The wise ones do what the wise ones do. And Rand's like, okay.
All right.
Yeah, it reminded me of Treebeard being like, we do it when we do it. And it's like, the Pippin and Merry are like, the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they're like,
people are asking if my name is David.
But you're part of this world, aren't you? Is your name David?
Yeah. Did you call me David?
I might have.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
Don't do that.
All right, my bad.
Don't call me David. Yeah, my biological name.
I was born.
My legal name is David, but everyone calls me Nerdy because there's so many Davids.
My favorite is when you introduce yourself to people in real life and you're like, I'm Nerdy, and people are like,
yeah. And we're like at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And they're like, Nerdy? And I'm like, where do you think you are?
Yeah. Oh, you called yourself David. It wasn't even me.
Did I call myself David? Oh, weird. I usually don't do that on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Everyone knows my acting name is David
Guys,
Webb.
you
That's
can
not even my
literally-
real name, though. I have too many names.
You can literally find like our IMDb's. We're not very private people.
Yeah. And like I've said my full legal name on video.
Oh yeah.
Because my in my Movember video, I talked about how I'm David John Weens III because my grandfather's David John Weens the First, and
Yes.
he died of prostate cancer.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I don't hide my name. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
I just nobody can spell Weens. It's Wiens, and so I don't get emails and stuff. So I changed my acting name.
Yeah.
And then I changed my name for this.
Spell it. Nerdy Von Knightley. Yes, that's the one.
Nerdy Von Knightley sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So we find out that the nobles from the city tried to come and see Rand while he was dead. And everyone's like very on edge. Everyone is like very uncomfy and is trying to like offer him things or trying to play Deus Damar while he's literally asleep. And so he's like, you know what? Now is a good time to go pay them a visit.
Yeah.
Because the king? Yes.
No,
the king?
No,
leader?
the Terran Lord.
Big fish, yeah.
There is no king.
Whatever, top guy wants to offer him the
That's
throne.
not the top guy from Kyrian. That's the top guy from Tyr.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's very
he sent up.
very confusing. Anyways,
Yeah.
he's like, let me know when Rand is gonna come by. And so Rand is like, all right, I'm not gonna let him know when I'm gonna come by. And so they
He
walk
undercover
right in.
bosses it.
Yeah. They walk right in. And he basically walks in like Jesus to all these people trying to touch him.
It reminded me so much of the way they shot
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, Misa.
Yeah. Is that the end of season 4?
4?
Or 3? I can't remember.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
When she liberates
Slaver's Bay.
Is it Slaver? It was a specific anyways, doesn't matter.
I can't remember. I've read those books so many times I can't even remember.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I've got too much Wheel of Time in my head. I have
I need to separate
the Wheel of Time has like pushed the Game of Thrones out my ears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird.
So you can the difference is super noticeable when the nobles show up because then the people are suddenly like, yikes, never mind.
Well, and also I like that the nobles show up pushing their way through the crowd, and then Rand's like, no, get behind us, and the nobles are like, they just kind of move for him. He doesn't have to push.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not good people.
I don't know if they're thinking that.
They're not self-aware enough to realize they're not good people.
Yeah.
But so he gets to the throne room.
Mustafar. Yeah, when the Mother of Dragons liberates Mustafar.
No, we skipped over like my favorite scene in this whole chapter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one was it?
Rand is naked, and Aviendha won't leave until he finds his clothes. And so he's like trying to find his clothes.
Right, I forgot about that because she was like, okay, fine. If you want to go, you have to dress yourself.
I love Aviendha so much because she's sitting on them.
I know.
It's so petty. It is fucking believingly petty that she is like, okay, find your clothes, and she sits there and stares at them knowing that she is like grinding her cooter on them.
I imagine it takes him like 40 minutes. Like legitimately. Like I like 30 to 40 minutes of Rand being like, it's not in this drawer.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna check that drawer again. Like. Oh
my god, I'm sorry we almost skipped that because it legitimately might have been my favorite my favorite like joke of this section because there's a lot of humor. This book has been very funny.
It's funny.
I will say, I think the humor in this book has. I don't think this is my favorite Wheel of Time book so far, but I do think that this book is funnier than the previous 4 books.
No, I think isn't Yunkai where she gets the Unsullied.
They mix the locations between the show and the book.
Oh, so
different things happens at different places, and so for me, I can never remember which city is which in Slaver's Bay because of the way that like the show did it differently.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And Avi gets to watch him walk around naked. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great. I love it.
Which really really is just sad for Rand because, you know, he's probably so unbelievably soft. You know what I mean?
He's so weak.
Well, no, actually, you know what? She's seen it full mast. So at least she knows the reality
She
of
knows.
it.
She's like, it doesn't matter. She's like, I see where we get to. And maybe he's a shower. Maybe he's not a grower.
It just like hangs.
Maybe.
I'm not. I wish. Although I don't know that I do.
No, I feel like it'd be annoying to have it kind of there all the time.
Yeah.
Better to be a grower, I think. And so that's a nice surprise. You're like, ah.
Yeah, but then sometimes you like, sometimes when you're like, you have to be like, no, don't worry.
Don't worry. There's more coming.
Gets bigger.
It's on the way. I promise.
It's on the way. So Rand takes the throne of Cairhien, but he's like, I'm not gonna sit there. That's somebody else's chair. Bring me a chair. And everyone's like, okay.
What? Okay.
And so someone goes and brings him a chair, and he like sits like this is the throne, and he like sits next to it in a different chair.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. And so the Terran lords have.
It's like it's literally like Gondor. The throne of Gondor, and the steward is sitting on the small one beside it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And so the it was Yunkai. Okay. The Terrans have put themselves in front of the Cairhien because they're assholes. And Rand is like, no, we're not doing this. Mix by rank?
Yes.
But I don't think the ranking system would be the same in either city, so I don't really know how they figured this out.
I have no idea, but it reminded me, remember in Young Canadians, how they gave us a height line?
Yes, yeah.
And then you had to remember that height line order for the rest of the year, and it was like, okay, we need you assembled in the height line, and everyone would just like fall into place. I imagine that they know they have a system for it, and we just don't know it.
I don't remember that being hard because I was the center of it.
I remember having to be
everyone
are we... And it was me and like 4 other girls who were all like the same height, and we're like, so do we...
I just remember every height line, it would be like, all right, where is David standing?
He's the center, everybody...
Oh yeah, I do call myself, when I'm talking about things that aren't related to this, I call myself David.
Yeah.
But when I talk about like gaming, I call myself Nerdy. That's weird, and I don't think about it.
10 years ago, when we were in Young Canadians, we were David and Ariel, we weren't Nerdy and Clarks, right?
That's strange.
It's just, it makes sense that that's how the brain works.
Yeah. So they mix up, and then Rand basically spends like 40 minutes having people kiss his ring, and he gets bored. My favorite thing about it is that Rand is like,
this is taking forever. God damn it.
I would too. I'd be like, can we just do that? Can you all get down on one knee? We'll do a mass. Yeah.
Same time.
Well, just everyone will do the. Come on.
Like, no wonder shit never like gets done in politics, right? Because they take 50 minutes to kiss the ring. Like,
and look, it's different than when he kisses all the maidens, because like, come on.
Well, at least he got drunk.
That would be fun. But like, this is the worst version of that.
Yeah.
I just want to go down the line and kiss a bunch of ladies. That sounds great. Or a bunch of hot dudes. You know what I mean? Either way.
Yeah.
Or hot ladies. I don't want to just kiss random women.
No, that are all there to be like, yes, you can fuck our sister.
We will stand outside your window and cheer as it's happening.
And describe things for you guys to do together. We're going to read the Kama Sutra to you.
Why? Okay, so that's it. That's basically it, right?
Yeah.
We've gotten through everything. So I have a big question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't Moiraine want to go into Cairhien? Right?
Well, okay, because some of them might recognize her.
I know, but why is that a bad thing?
Because Rand has to be the one to do this. Like, I think that it's more of a people need to see Rand, that he's doing this himself and that he's the one in charge, and not have like Moiraine whispering in his ear. They don't want to think, because Moiraine knows the game of houses, and she has taught Rand. She doesn't want people to know she's taught Rand. Rand needs to be smarter than they think that he is, right?
Okay.
And if they underestimate him, that gives him a better playing field. Now, I don't remember how old Moiraine is, so maybe not a bunch of people would recognize her, but I think
she's
at
like
least
40, right?
At least somebody would, right?
I see. I thought it was going to be more that like she's not welcome there for some reason.
Oh.
But I do like. I actually really like Breezy's point. I think Moiraine is guarding the Tel'aran'rhiod.
I mean, she hasn't been with the Tel'aran'rhiod at every moment.
Kind of, though. When she's not with Rand, she's with them. That's what the books have said, right? So
yeah, okay.
I don't know. So Jimmer says, I think you should read New Spring. We're not reading New Spring until after book 6, right?
I thought it was 7.
I can't remember.
I don't...
We also might be saving New Spring for a specific thing.
Yes.
Which we'll get to later.
We're
definitely going to read 5 and 6. We're not going to read New Spring until after book 6 at the very earliest.
Yeah. I thought it was after book
Moiraine is also in line for the Kyrian throne, so it complicates things.
Well, and then if Rand shows up and he's
John Yarber says, her uncle!
John, thank you for that super chat. Right.
Interesting.
Well, and that's the thing, is Moiraine knows that she has a powerful and influential position if she walks in there with Rand, and he needs to establish that himself without her beforehand, right? He did it in Tyr.
Mm-hmm.
He did it in Tyr, and he needs to also do it in Kyrian, and she knows that because she knows the Game of Houses. She knows how these people think.
Right. If she walks in, they'll think that she should be on the throne. Okay.
Yeah, it's very complicated, and I think she's trying to at least complicate it a little less. Decomplicate.
The one thing I will say is we're not going to read New Spring last.
No.
We will read Memory of Light last.
Yes.
We want to end with Memory of Light.
Yes.
Because I don't want to read the end of the series and then be like, prequel book.
And then no.
So probably, maybe after book 10, I think it was published after book 10, so unless there might be something in the fall that we read it for. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
So keep an eye out in the Discord and on our Twitters.
My favorite little moment in this chapter is Rand being like, look, I need one dragon banner, but raise the freaking Kyrian banners back up. Come on, kids, you guys have honor. And the Kyrianen are like, yeah!
Okay, wow.
It's so crazy. Rand's like, what is happening? Someone's gonna be listening to this while they're driving in their car on the podcast and be like,
the actual fuck was that? But here's the thing, that's basically what happens.
Yeah, they lose their shit.
They lose their goddamn minds. Their heads explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's literally what happens. Rand is like, oh yeah, Moiraine told me that, like, they're generally, like, pretty, like, reserved people, but, like, when they go for it, they fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I really liked it. I liked it. It was cool.
It's your Kyrian Lord audition tape. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't make the mic peak? Babe, I'm so proud of you.
It's harder to peak this mic than the other ones.
Good.
So, that's it.
Yeah.
That means it's time for highs and lows. This is a thing that my family did at the dinner table every night. We would do high and low to celebrate our highs and commiserate over our lows to, be a close little family unit. And so we do that here. Clarus goes first with her high. Then we go my low, her low, and then we end with my high so that we complement sandwich this biche. So, Clarus.
I feel like I have been very open about the fact that, like, Matt's sections in this last couple chapters have been my high. Mm-hmm. And I guess the peak of that, if I had to pick something, is the lords being like, sure, the dragon, fine, but you are the one that's here with us, and you have earned our respect. And it was, I'm like getting goosebumps. It was so good. That is my high for this section, although there's lots that I could choose from. So.
Okay, that means it's time for my low.
Your low.
My low is tough. There's two things to choose from. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to go with Elaine just being able to high rope walk.
Damn
I didn't like it.
You took mine.
Fine, you can have that one.
No, you can.
Okay, yeah, that's my low. The other one for me was Liandrin being taken off the table so fast here.
Oh, okay.
When I was like, really, I was excited to see her and Mogideon have to like work together and it like be like difficult for them.
Yes, that's fair.
But it's not my low because of what happened. It's because of it's and that's why it doesn't beat out the tightrope walking, because it's only my low because of what I was excited about not happening.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Chat, if you guys want to share your high and low in chat here, or some people like to do that in the Discord as well, which is really fun, please feel free.
What's your low, babe?
My low is the Elaine stuff where she's just like perfect at everything. But for me right now, the low is honestly this like consequence that Nynaeve had that was repeated with the Egwene stuff.
Yeah.
I hope that like I like that better very shortly, but right now it's kind of like that was pointless. So yeah, that's me. And what is your high?
My high, just the look on Avienda's face when Rand is running around the tent naked. There's so much good stuff in this. That's kind of a joke. But, like, I was just picturing, when I was reading it, I was picturing Avienda just being like, where is it? I don't know. Yeah, you keep running around.
Keep looking.
You keep looking for your clothes, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you find it because this is embarrassing for you.
It's a really good moment.
Yeah.
I also like just everything with Birgitte. I think Birgitte is really like her whole like I like people who are themselves, and you're being if you were
yourself.
If you're a little wimp, I would like you for being a little wimp.
Yeah.
But you're not a little wimp and you're behaving like one, so I don't like you. And I was like, Birgitte, you're cool.
Birgitte's awesome. Yeah.
Also, the fact that she's like, I'm gonna protect Elaine like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't wait for Rand to be like,
I have to.
Do I sleep with her too?
That? Yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah. No, it's great moments.
All right, y'all, and that is going to be our show. There's one more segment that we do after our little plugs here because, some people don't like it. It offends their sensibilities. Although, considering the other things we talked about today,
Smut Corner incoming after these brief messages from us.
Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the dislike button if you don't like the video, that's fine. Engage with it in a way that boosts it in the algorithm so that more people see it.
Smash that like button.
Smash it. You can also follow us around the internet. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
And don't forget that if you leave a review on our Apple Podcast feed and you leave it a 4 or 5 stars, I'm not going to say you have to give us 5 stars. We have room for improvement.
Yeah,
but if you leave
fine.
that review, we will turn it into a video of us reading your review, no matter what you write.
Yes.
I have no shame. Don't worry about it.
TikTok. It'll be fun.
Unless it like doxes me or Claris or someone else.
That's fair. Yeah, we wouldn't.
There are some limitations, but common sense.
Don't be a dick.
Also, this podcast, as always, is sponsored by Audible. Audible is a service that allows you to hear people say things that other people wrote.
Yeah, that's the exact explanation of Audible. Yeah.
If you want a free book and a 30-day free trial, you can head over to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly, where they have the entirety of The Wheel of Time.
They do.
And they do not have the entirety of Game of Thrones, because
it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist
yet.
And they don't have the entirety of Name of the Wind because it doesn't exist yet. So, you can listen to the books that do exist in those franchises at audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. And maybe, if enough of you do, those authors will have a fire lit under their butts and finish them.
Yeah,
Which means it's time for...
Smut Corner.
Canada. Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
Ding. Smut Corner, okay, I feel like the Avienda watching Rand run around naked is kind of in itself a Smut Corner.
No, in my Smut Corner version of that scene, she goes, oh yeah, you have enough energy to go into Kyrian? Get hard for me.
Do it.
Do it.
Get hard for me.
I dare you.
I dare you. And Rand is like, I don't know if I like
Can
this
you
or not.
pop a tit out? I need some help here. And she's like,
can I? Oh my God, Glenn Peterson, thank you for that super duper chat.
I imagine that Birgitte joins the circus, and she's like, you know what? I haven't had sex in a long time. I haven't had a body in a while. Let's find some handsome man here to
No, I'm not handsome man. She doesn't like handsome men.
No, she thinks that Gaidal is handsome. It's Sylvester Stallone. He's a good-looking dude. He's just not good-looking to Nynaeve.
Apparently he's
the stories describe him as handsome, and the stories are accurate in what these people look like. In fact, they're so accurate that all you need is a description to believe that they've come back alive after 3,000 years.
So Birgitte gets Nynaeve drunk, and Birgitte is like, Nynaeve, wouldn't it be crazy if
No, she just fucks Elaine.
No. Wouldn't it be crazy if we went over to Val and Luca's tent?
Glenn Peterson, I like this place so much that you two have officially made it as a line item in my budget. Glenn!
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
We appreciate the heck out of you. Oh my God.
We do appreciate that.
No, I think she's like, yo, we're gonna do some shots. We're gonna go over to see Val and Luca.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a good time.
Nynaeve is not fucking Val and Luca.
He's really good at performing. So
Nynaeve is not fucking Val and Luca. Even in Smut Corner, I refuse that. I refuse it. I can't.
Oh my God.
You know who does get laid though? Jewelin. His act on the tightrope is a hit. People see him, they're like, that was so funny, you're so talented. And he's like, my tent's over here, and they're like, let's
fucking go.
You know how it's like after a show? You go to the bar afterwards, and people are like, you are so good in that. Can I suck your dick? And Julian's like, yes. Yes, you can.
Oh my God.
When I did Full Monty, the number of moms who were in my Instagram DMs being like, you were such a hot dad on stage. And I was like, that's so weird.
Okay,
and their profile picture would be like them with their kids.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like hitting me up because they'd be drunkenly texting me after the show. on Instagram, and they would send me the weirdest like mom hit-ups, and I was like, ma'am, I do not want to give you another child.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you're turned on by like how good a dad I played in the show.
It's it's a choice.
Methany! Courting meow! Human says he's bummed to miss the start of the stream again, but happy to see that you're back. He's starting at the beginning and wishing you a fun finish for the stream. Methany, you'll see this at the end of the stream, but God, you're in for a treat this week. We did some dumb shit on stream. We did some dumb shit,
and we appreciate your cat so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah.
Is there any other good time for smut? The battle's a tough one.
Yeah, the battle is not really a time for smut, and unless it's the orgy afterwards. You know the ideal have like post-battle orgies.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
The headbands that they wear. The IEL have little we are owned by the dragon headbands, which is a little weird that Rand is like, oh yeah, I do own people. You don't really, they follow you.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, the headbands are cool. I want one.
Is that what we should make? We'll get
what? I want like for like Jordan Con to have like a little Wheel of Time headband.
No, we'll get red beanies with the symbol.
That would actually be really cool.
Right? Does anyone want a red beanie with the dragon symbol? The yin yang symbol basically.
Cool.
I like it.
Y'all, thank you for joining us this week for the book club. Are there any smut corners that we missed?
I don't think so.
I feel like if Nynaeve would have had sex with anyone in this section, it would have been Galad in the alley with Ragan and Uno like watching, but also like keeping people away from them as they just like. Oh
my God.
Nynaeve's like, just do whatever you want.
He's so hot, I can't help myself.
All right, now do something nerdy tonight.
Thanks, guys.
And a huge thank you to our mods.
Yes, mod shout out. Join the Discord if you want to continue this conversation. Gonna drop some links. We appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Bye.